Getting back into the habit of streaming. Oh, man. I just realized once I'm done with Lightning Returns, I'm probably going to have to play the Elder Scrolls Adventures. That seems like the most logical thing for me to do. Especially if I'm going to continue procrastinating writing blogs. Oh, man. I'm very gassy right now. I apologize to anyone who's watching this. It's not fit for human consumption. Alright. Well, will you look at that? I've started streaming. Oh, shit. God damn it. Could close the window. There's some loud kids right now. Alright. Pooping. We're really doing it, huh? How are things? Well, I want to be done with the side quest shit in this game so as that I can move on to back doing what I love, what I know is my true calling, which is ranking adventure games.
Missed clones, yes.
Oh shit, I didn't realize you joined while I was setting up audio-wise.
Yeah, that's right.
I also returned to work. That's the reason why I haven't been streaming at all in person. I've been very tired. Usually it takes me about 2 weeks to adjust, but here I am, trying to be done with shit. I saw you playing Melty Blood, Brayden.
I've been figuring out which character I want to play.
Please tell me you played some Neko
Arc doesn't drop until tomorrow.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Neko Arc drops on the 19th.
You know, Neko and, like, the way that Type Moon does it's just the perfect example of how to do joke characters, really, honestly.
I mean, filling up the screen with bullshit is pretty good.
While still being a bad character, objectively.
While still being the bad joke character who
Well, actually, it's the chain smoke dude Neko that is actually considered the worst character.
Chaos. Yes.
Yeah, Chaos Neko.
Yes.
But that's just because they like taking the piss out of Chaos.
They need to add Nervous Squirmer Chaos first before they can add his Neko version.
Anyways, so.
But it's okay. Maybe I'll play as Vlav. He's a vampire who shoots fire.
Weren't they? They added Saber to that game, right?
Saber was one of the launch characters. Yes.
Yeah. I should actually get set up to play that game, but you know. So I was saying, I don't know if you heard it, but I think that when I'm done with Lightning Returns, and I think I'm gonna play Redguard.
Okay.
I think I play Redguard. I think that's the natural. That's the natural progression of this, right? Like.
Yes.
Is there no game audio coming through? I'm sorry. Yeah, there's no game audio. Fuck me. See, I had OBS do an update against my consent, and now I don't know.
Now everything broke. You gotta make sure it's not using default sound.
Okay. Do we hear game audio now? No? Fuck! God damn it. Shit. Cool. Fucking, I didn't realize that OBS is... Really? Really, OBS? You're gonna fucking do this to me? What the fuck? Was this set to default? Fuck me. Really? I love this. This is my favorite shit. My absolute favorite shit.
Problem solving.
I mean, the good news is that if I don't play the game with music on, then I can just not have to worry about fucking copyright.
Yeah. Well, let me see how your audio's going.
It seems as if there's no game audio is the problem. Oh, nope.
Right.
Nope, there's game audio.
I sound fine.
Okay.
I sound fine.
There's an echo. Okay, so... Fucking weird shit. Oh, did I somehow just turn off music in the setting? Let's get back into the game. Is there just no music right now? Have I gone crazy, Brayden? Am I on drugs?
I mean, are you?
No, I don't do drugs. I'm straight edge like the real bros do. Who would ever poison themselves with drugs? All mental illness is just a reflection of society's pressures on people. That's why there's no such thing as depression. Can I talk to you about this organization I joined, which is called the Church of Scientology?
Uh-huh. Well, okay. So what if priests are humans?
Mm-hmm.
Were put in spaceships that looked like DC-88 planes, and then thrown into volcanoes.
There's the music.
And now they're evil spirits.
I guess we were just in a weird, like,
from actualizing yourself.
A weird, like, part where the game just didn't decide to play music. Weird. That's weird. I know that we're at the late night part and we just have to wait for fucking midnight so that I can get into the upper echelons of the town and do like 2 or 3 side quests, but like this sure is a weird thing. Anyways,
yeah.
So what are you playing after what you played? Evil Within, I forgot.
Yeah.
I know I was in that stream commentating.
Dementium the Ward.
Ah, right, you're doing the DS game.
Which means I need to get DS emulation set up.
Oh, you're not going to legally try and bootstrap a DS to your retro tank?
If someone would like to, if someone would like to fund a 3DS capture card for me, I'm not against it. But I'm going to need a lot more money. Because I feel like the heyday of paying someone to mod your 3DS is probably past.
Oh, it's probably $1,000 more expensive than just emulating.
It's too much. And like, if I'm gonna be honest, I think I'd rather buy an N64 and an EverDrive.
That's how dark this has gotten.
Like
That's how dark this has gotten.
Purchases is because I'm not gonna try and rebuild my N64 library from scratch.
No, I mean, who would want to do that, right?
Because
only a crazy person would do that.
My brother, it was stolen from my brother when he brought it to the dorms his freshman year. I
know Gino has told the story of how he moved and the movers stole his Switch.
Gross.
But
Yeah. So the only N64 games I have left are the ones he didn't bring. So I
Right.
have like Majora's Mask and Rogue Squadron 1
I know this
and
sounds weird, but for some reason, the DS was the original DS. The 3DS
yeah.
brought me back, but the DS PSP era is when I fell off of portable gaming.
Oh, you mean literally the best era of portable
No,
gaming?
I thought that the best era was the 3DS Vita era. I thought that, say what you will about the PlayStation, or the PSP, but I felt like the Vita had a criminally underrated catalog of games that were really good. And the 3DS was when they kind of struck a better balance between portable gaming and, a couple of gimmicks here, a couple of gimmicks there, and also people had figured out how to use the stylus in a way that wasn't
Yeah.
super compromised. Yes, the 3DS was a bunch of bullshit. You didn't need it. Um, I always was saying
No,
if they had done a
people gave
version of
up
the
on
two,
the 3D. Like,
yeah, if they had done a version of the 2DS that wasn't just a slab, I think that would have been the best handheld ever. That 3DS catalog, especially, that's when Nintendo had really good online support for their shit, right? Like the 3DS
yeah.
shop, all that shit. It was good. It was fucking good. Life was good,
Hey,
Braden.
the 3DS was Atlus's most supported platform.
Yeah, and that's just what can I say other than it's a bummer. It's a fucking bummer. It's a real bummer. I hope that one day people really know how fucking good the 3DS and the 3DS. I'm sorry, the DS and the 3DS were. Not the
I think
first
the big
DS.
difference.
The first DS was dog shit.
I was one of those kids who had the original Model DS.
I think that's up there with like the original Game Boy Advance of Nintendo released something before they properly focus tested it, and it shows.
Or like, yeah, well, yeah, the DS Lite is a much better form factor.
But of course, the ultimate example of they should have tested that shit and to make sure that it wasn't shitty was the Game Boy Advance, the original Game Boy Advance that didn't have backlighting. So if you had even
Yeah,
the
and
slightest bit of glare.
that's why a lot of early GBA games have that super washed out color palette.
Yeah. Remember all of the third-party peripherals where they would like
Sure
bootstrap
do. I
lights?
had a worm light
God.
for the Game Boy Color.
My favorite DS thing, I wonder how well this... I'm not even saying that if the games are good, I'm just saying, like, if the technology can even work today. You remember the e-reader?
I sure do.
I wonder if that technology even functions.
I mean, it's literally just like, what if you put a handful of like weird mini games on multiple cards?
Yeah. I remember using my e-reader in front of my grandmother, and it blew her brain. Like, wait, the game's in the cards? How is that possible?
Well, you see, you can hold.
And I had to explain to her I couldn't just use my baseball cards. I had to use the Nintendo e-reader cards. They had special things in them that make it possible for me to use the 3DS. Or not the 3DS, the e-reader.
Yeah.
Think of all the weird, stupid bullshit that Nintendo made us buy that we didn't actually use. Remember the online adapter for the GameCube
GameCube.
that
Yeah.
we only really needed to use for like 2 fucking games? Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not just fucking around. Yeah, I might as well just skip to late. The e-reader still works. That's cool to hear. Remember the connector, the GBA to GameCube connector, so is that you could play
Sure do. Four Swords
Four
Adventures,
Swords,
Crystal
and then
Chronicles,
Pac-Man.
and then Pac-Man Versus. I do remember this because I had Four Swords Adventures.
I had Four Swords Adventures. I didn't have 4 friends to play it with.
I
That was the
basically
real
never got
kid
more
problem
friends.
that I had, which is I had my sister, I had my mom, and my dad was always way too busy and didn't like to play video games. And also my mom and sister were not the best at playing Four Swords, so it was very frustrating.
Just another obstacle.
Remember how we all freaked out about Four Swords Adventure? It's like, oh my god, it's the first Zelda game where Ganon's not the bad guy. It's that weird emo
Vati.
boy. Whatever the fuck his name was. What was his name?
Vati.
Right. I guess you could say that Ganon's not the bad guy in Zelda 2.
Yeah, it's
It's an
It's
evil
his
Thunderbird
return, which
and
is
his evil
threatened.
self.
evil Lunk. Yeah.
Game stonks. Come on, open up. Please open up. I gotta find the ghosts and deliver the crystal to those kids. Anyways, yeah. Weird shit
Chatting
that we
with
bought
this
as
girl
kids
on
and thought it
Bumble
was
about
cool.
board games.
So you talked about, did you talk about Wingspan? Did you talk about
We're talking
Scythe?
about Dominion.
Oh, you brought up Dominion? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Could have brought up Android Netrunner, Galaxy Truckers.
No one plays Android Netrunner anymore.
You could have said
It's
you
a
played it
solved
during its.
game.
You could have said that you played it back in the day. You get some cred.
That would be a lie, though, because I played Android Netrunner once with a friend, and
That
neither
still
of us quite
counts.
understood
That
it.
still counts. Brayden, relationships are built on the bedrock of lies. Convenient little white lies. And then at least one dark, horrible secret that you never tell your partner.
Mysterium
Can you
Park.
tell that I've
Look
never
at
had a
this-
relationship that's lasted more than a year?
I mean, neither have I. Alright, time to... See, now I need to
Open
look all of these
up.
up.
Hey, buddy. Oh, do you need me to turn away? I think you just open. Right? Ah, da 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 da. Yay, it does
Ooh,
open. up.
Okay.
So I don't have
Mysterium
to
Park
fucking...
is in... Okay.
Okay.
Is it Mysterium, but...
Mysterium, the new updated
Arcus?
version of Mysterium is quite cool. So they took Mysterium and then changed it to where it requires an app, which is probably going to frustrate you ever so
Okay.
slightly. But hear me out. The app actually adds a lot to the experience. It's the classic example of one of the reasons why I like playing Gloomhaven on Steam is because it does all of the math for me, and I don't have to like calculate
Yeah.
half hit points and fucking armor. I think I found the ultimate troll pick if I ever wanted to piss you and Jeff off. I could just pick Tempest.
Like...
I know. It's the ultimate troll pick. I could. It's technically a role-playing game.
In what sense?
You
like,
play roles and you level up characters and you move around on a Monopoly board. It's a role-playing game. Like
you mean Talisman?
Talisman, I'm sorry. Not Tempest. Fucking
I was
Tempest.
like, Jeff Minter's Tempest?
No, sorry. God damn it.
Llamasoft?
Talisman. Talisman, yes. You're right.
Yeah.
Talisman. Sorry. Had a brain fart there. I'm tired.
But here's the thing: if you pick Talisman, I would shut you down.
Why? Why would you veto me? I've never been
Because
vetoed.
I've played Talisman before, and I don't need to.
Talisman's not good. Like, people... Like, it is a testament that, like, basically... it is a testament that, basically, Gloomhaven has replaced Talisman only because it's just that shitty.
I mean, Gloomhaven's a real
is a real game with actual gameplay that's fun to play, right? Like, it's not a bad game. Say what you will about its density, which I think is a real problem with its accessibility if you play it tabletop, but boy howdy, it's got more variety than fucking Talisman. Am I right, kids? All these cool kids. The last time I played Talisman was when they made a variant that was themed to Kingdom Hearts.
Sure.
And I reminded myself.
How do you feel about the announcements about 1D&D?
So I feel like I said my piece in the thread, which is everyone who thinks that this upcoming new variant of D&D is going to be a goddamn like 6E are crazy people. It's going to probably be like some sort of 5.5E.
You do realize this is they answered this today when they said they were also doing like Planescape in next year.
Yeah, I know. But my point is not necessarily like I trust what they're writing. I think this version of Wizards, what is a 6E, is very different than the move from a 5E a 5E to a 6E.
Has made them so much bank.
A 5E, the switch from 5E to 6E will be very different than say 4E to 5E or even 3E to 4. Like what they consider.
This is a rough neighborhood.
A new
the
upgrade
way
or
they
new
have
addition.
phrased it is that it very much comes off like a 3-5 to Pathfinder situation.
Yeah.
Or in AD&D.
Gino, I can see you. You can tell we're not actually talking shit about you.
What happened to Lightning?
I dressed her up.
You gave her the laser eye. She's like Kano.
Why is she Kano Lightning?
Because I thought it would look cool.
Kano.
See, I have her
Zero.
wearing sunglasses at all times.
Okay.
Yeah.
His past.
What's your story?
Don't get your hopes up.
She wears a tube top, and sometimes when she moves real fast, her boobs jiggle.
Used to be part of an organization.
Yeah.
Until one
Yep,
day
that's
I made
Lightning Returns, all right.
I've been holed up here ever since, hiding my shame.
So, Gino,
Art.
you might want to be careful because I might be doing side questing, but I've done all of the story.
Oh.
No, not story. I haven't done the end. This is once you beat all of the bosses before the final boss.
He
Oh
refused
no,
to
I
just
might get
sleep
spoiled.
until the end of the game.
He said he's a
How do you
ghost.
make a living or even eat?
My
He's
son,
legally dead.
he's a good kid, unlike his old
I love it when the voices don't match the faces.
me.
I mean, all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a real good one. But anyways, no, Braden, as I was saying, like I don't know
The
what
reason I wanted to talk
this
to you
new
is because
a
I'm
new
looking for a
addition
journal.
with
It
this
belonged
team
to
that's so
Renolf.
adverse to risk because they got burned on 4E.
Well, it sounds like they're literally just building off of 5e.
So yeah,
Or
that
it is-
that basically
It is a 5.5, basically,
He asked me to find a
because
firm.
it sounds
I'm
like
just doing him
most
a
of the old
favor.
stuff's going to be compatible, and they're just going to tweak a couple rules.
Which I mean, I think
Like,
that
for
even
example,
a
the idea that
5.5e,
yeah.
it's been a long time coming because we've been stuck with 5e for the longest we've ever been stuck with an edition of D&D without any update. But I also feel like
That's right.
the team
did.
that is at Wizards in
They're-
charge of
yeah.
D&D, they are so scared. They are so risk
Horrified.
adverse.
So that's your name.
They
Yeah.
are. This is the most risk adverse a D&D team has ever been, and that's not changing anytime soon. And I don't know
Yeah.
what the state of Magic is. If the problem is that they're not willing to take risks with
They
Magic.
also announced stuff for Magic. I didn't pay attention.
But hey, Gino, what's the state of like the
Yes?
creative team behind Magic: The Gathering? Is it good? Positive? Is it?
That's a loaded question.
Because you
I
just
would
don't
say. No, I would say that they are not the most risk averse they have ever been. They have made new locations, which if they were the most risk averse they had been, they would probably strip mined some stuff more. Like they are doing a return. They've done a few return to sets in a row now. God damn it. And
Aren't
they
they
did
going
the
back
D&D
to
set.
they're going back to the
Okay, so we can
Dominaria,
definitely
but
do
Dinosaur
main-
place.
we can definitely do the quest where we help the kids.
I
stop
don't
being
know
a
about that one. I
cat.
know they're going back to Dominaria, which is like the main magic
Yeah.
location from like the first Hojillion sets.
All right, so
other than
we can
Homelands.
put-
They are going to
let's
do.
put this marker.
It just did Kamigawa, a return to Kamigawa, which is not that risk averse, all things considered. Then you got to remember that they're like constantly buffering their coffers with cash grabs.
You
So
say
like
that,
the sets
a-
take more
a
risks, but
Wizards
the
of
cash
the Coast
grabs.
franchise that the Magic the Gathering franchise wants to make money.
I
Say
just mean
what?
like they announced like yesterday or today a Doctor Who tie-in.
Sounds good.
Sure.
Exactly, that's my response. Sure.
Listen, we need to get 17-year-old Tumblr girls into Magic the Gathering.
Do we? Counterpoint, do
Yes.
we?
Yes. They're an untapped market. You gotta tap it. That's what Magic the Gathering has taught me.
Always tap it.
Always be
Never
tapping.
stop tapping it.
So wait, what? What the fuck?
But yeah, I mean, the Warhammer 40k set is coming out soon. What other sets are coming out soon that are similarly cash grabby? I don't know if there's any other just like huge one. Oh, there's the Lord of the Rings set that's coming soon. They're doing another unset. Are you
The
familiar with
Embracer
unsets?
Group's
Brayden?
own Lord of the Rings?
Yes,
Maybe you can help me.
Saudi
I'm looking for
Arabia's
something
own
called Starlit
Lord of the
Spice.
Rings.
Do you know it?
It's okay. They only put in
Look
$1
at this
billion
dude.
in investment.
Hey, Gino, this guy's wearing Vivi's hat.
I know, it's fucked up.
Look at his
Um,
fucking face. But anyways, I don't know. Wizards
Sounds
is
good
like
to me. Exactly
a
what
really
is it
good
that you
partner
need?
if they own your IP. They're also a frustrating partner if they own your IP. So if they
Ask Matthew Rory about his time working on a D&D
Looks
game.
like I already have all the
I should ask him about his time.
yeah, it wasn't
He has things to say about his time working on Storm of Zahir.
yeah, but Storm of Zahir wasn't a
I'll
good
have to
game.
ask.
Storm of Zahir is an interesting. It is an interesting attempt.
Brayden, are you familiar with what an unset is in Magic?
Like the joke?
Yes,
Magic
the
sets?
comedy sets.
Yes.
We're making a new one of those.
Good.
ingredients I need.
I think this is
Guess I should
Unfinity.
just hand them over to Rubrio.
They should see, as someone who
I've got everything.
basically has not touched Magic outside of a brief addiction to Arena when that first came
I like
out.
the dual decks. I've told Gino this. I thought that dual decks were great because they were pick up and play, and I wish that
Just
they would-
Android Netrunner. Yes.
I think that's part of the reason why I like the dual decks is because I'm an Android player.
Take every precaution.
Great.
Yes.
Okay, so the problem with this mission is that if you touch a cat, you automatically lose your item because it's implied that the cats eat it because you're trying to find a cat boy and take his soul out of the cat body and put it back from the cat. So I can't touch any animals. And I can't... Fuck! Shit! Okay, well, that wasn't a random encounter. Let's hope this.
Oh.
So, wait, what were these dudes? These dudes are weak to lightning. Do I have lightning? No, I don't. Oh, I have Spark Strike. That's good enough.
So they are releasing this year Dominaria United, which is a return to like Magic's original location, and the Brothers War, which is set in like the past, Magic's past. And Phyrexia All Will Be One, which is set.
Transformers. Yes.
Yeah, they're the bad guys.
All will be one. Yeah.
They're like the flesh monsters.
Okay. I love flesh monsters.
So what part of
Yeah,
it
they're
do we play?
machine flesh
So
monsters.
does Caro Caro Bonito have a card yet?
Oh. Unfortunately.
Oh, I had forgotten about that until you.
It's gonna be
Why is
my
that
worst
a-
game of the year. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Journey.
No, that is.
That is one of the worst games I think I have ever played my entire life.
It is the most zero effort cash grab.
Yes,
I think
for sure. It was upsetting to watch. This is great. In spring, there's March of the Machine, which is also like Phyrexian flesh machine monster stuff. But that has to release in March, right?
yeah.
Sure.
It has to you have to release March of the Machine in March.
Is the tournament scene and like the funding and the money that they're injecting into that still totally fucked?
I think it's less fucked, but I haven't paid attention really.
I
Anymore.
just remember
I've
like
given up
multiple
on
people who were
tournament
like
stuff.
considered like high tier people saying I might not play this year because there's no fucking money.
Yeah, I think it's less bad than that. Like, it was egregious, and they've given up on, like, Magic's an esport. They've given up on that.
What's
They
this-
realized that
Good.
that's a dead dream.
Is Wizard still injecting a stupid amount of money into alchemy?
Yes, so they are trying to force people to play alchemy. So let me finish the upcoming releases,
Yeah, sure.
and then I will explain alchemy and why it's bad. So there's March the Machine, the Aftermath.
Touch cats.
That's
Seen
I think
cats.
the last set of this year, or this next cycle. Then it's Wilds of Eldraine, which will be interesting because Throne of Eldraine broke Magic, and then the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, which is the dinosaur thing you were talking about, Brayden.
Yes.
So the reason why
Don't touch cats.
that stupid format you just said, alchemy, is bad. So alchemy is Wizards' attempt at making a living format. Think like, Hearthstone. They can do rebalances.
Oh, shit,
They
there's
can do
cats.
stuff that's online only because they don't have
Fuck!
to get randomness. You can make cards in your hand because it's
Okay.
online
My
only.
gut says that's Ronin.
Okay, so I have to touch this kid without the cats touching me. Fuck.
Touch that kid.
Oh, I touched the kid without touching the cats. Okay, keep talking. Sorry.
That's fine.
So I used a
yeah,
hairball tonic to separate the boy's soul from a cat and put it back
Ronan?
into his boy body.
My name is.
Oh, that's good.
But he still has cat ears. That's fucked up.
Am I
Awesome.
in my own body again?
Kid's permanently catified.
Looks like this stuff actually works.
Um,
Welcome
So
back to
yeah,
your old life.
alchemy. They pitched it as we're going to have an online version, online only
Look, she's
format,
gone.
so we can do
You know that.
rebalances, right? Like there's some cards that are
Yeah.
not good, or they're too good, but we should fix them
But you
by
can't keep running from it
using
anymore.
our online tools instead of banning them, right?
Uh-huh.
Get it?
Coming back. I get
What
it.
if instead
You're right.
they made
I have to
cards
face the truth.
specifically for
But
our online only format?
I
that use
give my whole
online-only
life to bring her
mechanics.
back.
But they're all so like generating cards randomly and putting them in your hand.
Uh-huh.
Adding permanent modifiers onto cards that are in your hand, or things that even if they die,
Guys, the soul
they
of his
keep
cat
the
is
buffs.
telling him to live his best life.
Okay.
Can you go real quiet for a second? Y'all still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, you went real quiet for a second, ZP, so I wasn't sure if something
I'm
went wrong
sorry.
on my
It's
side.
just the soul of this boy's cat is telling him to live his best life,
Good.
and gave him cat ears.
Good.
Did you see that?
It's been cursed
That
with
kid
cat
dropped
ears.
the gem. It's like a dream come true.
So the
You experienced
online-only
something very
cards
special. A miracle even.
are broken,
all of this
right?
to
So
Yeah.
like they ratcheted the power level of them up because they want you to buy this
Have you
ridiculous
forgotten she's
format.
the reason you almost spent
They want you to buy
eternity
their
as a cat?
cards. So
Mhm.
alchemy
Sure about that.
cards,
I
if
think
you're
she
playing
knew that I
alchemy,
could have
like the
really
alchemy
linked the
cards
ring gem
dominate
back,
everything
even
because
if it meant
they're
hurting
broken.
myself in the
Um,
process.
But they
I
also
think
put
Luna will
alchemy
save me from
cards
myself.
into historic,
If that's what
the
you choose to believe
Ah,
in,
yes,
the
the
eternal format.
yes,
important
the
thing to remember
format that
arena.
everyone's
Gem will
convinced should
always
be
with you in your heart,
the tent pole
and
of the
that's where she'll
fucking
stay.
sport. Sure.
I mean,
I don't like
think
historic.
anyone's convinced of that. But historic requires you to buy alchemy stuff, and alchemy cards.
They're going for like a stupid price in some
I
cases.
don't know if alchemy cards still. At one point, to make an alchemy card,
Sorry.
I think it took 2 wild cards. It was like ridiculous. A bit
Fuck.
there.
Wow.
It was like just 100% bilking people. But yeah, also in alchemy, when your card gets rebalanced, you don't get a payout. if like they nerf your card into the ground. If they ban a card, you get a wild card to replace it. If they nerf your card into the ground, you don't get shit. They're basically putting you into a format that's hyper precarious, and then, saying this is a format that we care about and everyone should play. That's just, it's a bummer. Bad time.
Yeah. This sounds like a bad business model, Gino.
Some would even
I would
say,
say-
maybe exploitative.
One might say the worst, most insidious originator of many bad business model practices.
I gotta talk to some ghosts. We got
I
ghost
would
problems.
say that this business model that they are utilizing right now is... I mean, it's worse than anything Multiverse
I
did.
think, yeah, I was gonna say this. Is it time to just say that the current state of Magic is more exploitative of its fan base than
Oh,
most
yeah, no.
microtransaction video games?
100%. Like, I was listening, so Rory and I were like in a Discord, like podcast Discord to discuss Magic stuff, and the podcast was focused on Arena, and the podcast just like gave up earlier this year because they were like, we can't keep talking about, we don't want to be mad all the time. Basically, I can't keep doing this podcast because to do this podcast would be to discuss this current state of Arena, and in good conscience and good faith, I can't say it's good or enjoyable.
Wow.
It's just exploitative, and so they gave up.
This kind of reminds me of all of the people who are World of Warcraft Twitch streamers, and some of them are like, I don't know what to tell you. The game is in the worst state it's ever been. The only reason why I'm still playing this game is because you, the fans, this is what I've done.
Yeah, that's basically what one of the people said, was like, I don't know if I'm gonna I might play Paper more, I might play something else, but
That's
like, I
dire.
can't.
If you're gonna say that you're gonna play Paper more than online, like fucking wild.
I might play Magic a different way. I'm not going to produce content.
Say what
And
you
then,
will
like, one of
about
the
Magic
people-
Online. Okay? Say what you will about it. It was kind of a
I will.
shitty platform, but
However,
It is a shitty platform. It's bad, but at least you owned the cards and you could trade stuff, and at least
there's no one out there
I don't know. Wizards didn't you on an arbitrary treadmill the way that they do in Arena.
it's bizarre. It's just so fucking bizarre, I tell you.
And the like
weirdly
you play money.
hateful. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just exploitative. It's just treating your player base as if they are
Card games
a
with
given.
friends playing card games with friends is infinitely more fun than playing with random people online who are going out in meta.
Yeah, grinding out meta BS for
BS.
sure. I agree.
I feel like that's what happens whenever Gino streams Magic the Gathering.
I play and then
Bounce
it's just
after
people
2 hours.
grinding
He's
out
like,
meta
yeah,
BS.
I'm not gonna play this again. I don't
And
know.
then I give up, I uninstall it, and I move on with my life for a little
I think
while.
that
I suppose someone needs to fill her shoes.
I don't know, Brayden.
Rory
You can
asked me
chime
to
in.
push
Like
up.
Dungeons and Dragons is like not nearly at that level of apathy or like hatred, because say what you will, but like even the Magic the Gathering or the weird pop culture tie-in campaigns are like lovingly made. The problem is that we've had what 6 years of them just incrementally horizontal change, nothing vertical, and it's just tiring.
I mean, the closest to like actual improvements was like Tasha's Cauldron.
Yes,
Or
and getting rid of the
fucking hate
racial
Tasha.
the racial stuff was good.
And that's why D&D, one D&D moving towards your stat boosts come from your background, not your race, is like okay, eventually they
But I
figured
think
it out.
again, and I bring this up a lot, I
It'll
think
take
it's
them
really
8
telling.
years.
I think it's really telling that the only new class improvement or class addition we've ever had was the Artificer, and that was what.
Because they're too scared to add anything more complex because they care so much about organized play and they care so much about like making sure that the player.
And I realize why you're saying it that way, but also I want to just say that just
The path of chaos is long.
look. D&D, the hobby, is the healthiest is in the
Just-
healthiest spot that
yes.
it's ever been. This is the
Yes.
biggest the community has ever been. It's healthy. It's not going
Hope,
away.
you said
We are
that the
not
sa-
4E levels of, oh my god, this might die. This
Everyone
might actually
moved to
die.
Pathfinder.
There was a
because of
point when
how
everyone was
much-
moving into Pathfinder. And then, that's the funny thing is that, like, Pathfinder 2nd
Figure
Edition is
doesn't
the
have the
worst Pathfinder has looked in years.
Pathfinder 2E made me miserable
So
power to
anyways,
save the
um,
soul.
trying
Yeah.
to balance combat
I can save the
encounters.
living.
So I
That's
think
it.
that it's actually nice talking to Gino about the state of Magic because I feel like our complaints are
Yeah,
nothing compared to the actual.
I mean,
yeah.
the
the
other
hobby
thing
has
is,
been cut out at the knees.
we are currently playing an RPG rule set from 06. So,
No, just thinking aloud. Don't worry about it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the absurd thing is like, Magic is clearly the healthiest it's been. It's actually making a ton.
That's
It's
the
making money
thing,
hand
is
over
they're-
fist. It's
There's no motivation for Wizards to change course because they're making more
No.
money than they've ever done before.
at least they're
They-
finally doing Planescape. Will it
Escape
be
Torment?
Yeah, they're gonna.
Uh,
Planescape is
the-
gonna become canonical.
They're bringing back the Planescape campaign setting to D&D.
Which is cool because
Good.
previously it was just a 4E. There was a 4E version of Planescape.
No,
There
there was a
wasn't?
4E version of Dark Sun.
Oh, you're right. Fuck.
Planescape was a 2nd edition only thing, and
there was a
here's
3.5
what I will
version.
say.
I swear there was a
Uh,
3.5.
No, it was only 2nd edition. It was Monty Cook's very high concept, planar shenanigans.
If you donate
and,
$1 in chat to join the Deep Listens Patreon, please pick Planescape. Love to talk about Planescape or any CRPG. Why is the entire list of things that we're gonna play after Nox
why are
nothing
all
but
of our
JRPGs?
fans recommending us PSX games?
We sold this podcast of what if what's a genre that Gino and the other main staff have criminally underrated or it's not represented on the
yeah.
podcast. CRPGs. What does
Yeah.
everyone want us to play? Fucking JRPGs.
Yeah,
We're stuck.
Alright.
This is hell. This is hell.
this is why we need to just. This is why we need to just, split the difference and just play Wizardry and Ultima.
Anyways,
you're gonna eat your vegetables, and your
I
vegetables
felt
are
like Gino was
Legend
gonna
of
say
Dragoon.
something. What were you gonna say? I gotta talk to this ghost.
Oh no! All I was going to say is I was agreeing with you that Wizards is the healthiest business it's ever been. All of these things that are off-putting to me, apparently there are a ton of people that they're getting with the free-to-play stuff that offset me
Sure.
plus a million. So there's not much I can do. They've
So-
lost my money.
I've told you that I have a friend that is not the person that sometimes Braden talks about.
I'm sorry.
That lives in Japan. He is an American that lives in Japan and does translation. He just needs to say that, Japan don't give a fuck. They're buying these cards no matter fucking what.
Besides, it was a fitting way for me to go.
And that's part of the thing is
How could it be
business
fitting?
is super duper healthy, and there was a while there when it wasn't. So I see no reason for them
But-
to look
yeah.
hard in the mirror.
And I think that the
The
reason
business practices.
this is not racist. I'm part Japanese. I make this clear. I think the reason why
It always is good when a statement starts like
the
that.
reason why I think that Japan is more Japanese audiences have been more tolerant of the way that Arena has been commoditized is because it's very reminiscent of gacha games.
After
Yeah,
I died, I
100%.
realized something.
And so because that has become the
just an
standard
echo in my
of
head
mobile
that I
or
turned
portable
into something
games
else
in
because
Japan,
I wanted to hear
people's
God so
ability,
badly.
and they're like, oh yeah, they're doing another
I
one
know
of
I
these.
must have
Okay,
been just a
magic,
big
sure.
fool, he
But
was
for
so
us, this is
sincere.
fucking
I have
demonstrably
no idea
evil.
how much I wish I could.
Old Flipper's just like
I
this.
just don't have the power to save the dead.
Old Flipper's way more generous.
What a remake.
Opera Omnia, way more generous than Arena
The one who
is.
was actually
The amount
chosen
of
by
time you
God
need
and
to
a bride
spend
who
playing
thought she
most
was
gacha
chosen by
games to
God,
get,
and neither can
to
both
go
be.
infinite, close to
I
infinite
tried, though.
on the good
I
stuff
tried and was never able to
is
save
so
a
much
single
lower
soul.
than what Arena asks of you.
I guess that's
Especially if you
That's
include
the
the fact
weird,
that you're
weirdly
multitasking.
positive thing about
could've saved my
multiverses
own.
is the idea that it's a rotational of characters is kind of cool. And
Yeah.
no matter who you play, you're gonna get a fast-paced, snappy thing that hopefully is... Oh, I got the Phantom Rose? Okay, cool.
It looks like a rose, but I've never seen anything quite like it.
I don't know, man. I
Yeah,
know...
it's still a good playing game, and you're not like you're at a disadvantage with your character for a few minutes until you upgrade your character. But once you do upgrade your character
And then, at that
and get the
very
perks
moment,
for them,
her soul
you can play a
shone
pretty normal
blinding
game,
light.
even if you're only
Somehow
playing
she
with
was-
the free-to-play characters or just the ones you've unlocked. In Magic, if you don't keep up with the churn,
Yeah.
you just get clocked.
You just get obliterated.
Just get obliterated. There's no unless if you're cool with
It
getting
shouldn't be
obliterated,
possible. I don't have the power to save the
that's
dead.
fine.
How could this be? Was God
Some
listening?
people
What the
love to
fuck
be
is
stepped on.
Lightning just
Wish and
groaning
perform
about?
a
Like,
miracle through his gracious will?
God, this is the
Or
weirdest part of this game is
was
when
he-
Lightning decides to have a
Am I
soliloquy, and
more
it's like, who the
powerful
fuck are you
than even
talking
God
to?
himself knows?
When Lightning decides to talk, it's like, what?
No, it's just
What do you
one of
mean,
those
game?
line things.
Just another
I have
obstacle.
feelings, and I'm like, no, you don't. It's your whole thing is you don't have feelings.
Sarah, I think about you. What will it be like when we are together?
Sister.
My sister,
Sister.
Sarah.
Sister Sarah, who was dead in game 1
So,
and dead again in
Gino-
game 3.
We know what you're picking for the next. Is I think it's you're the next pick after this game. You've
Yes,
made
I'm
you've made no
picking-
secret as to what you're picking. What do you think Jeff is gonna pick? Because I don't fucking know. I keep asking him.
You don't know, he might pick a toaster oven.
Do you think that he finally forces us to play Mystic Quest?
Hironobu Sakaguchi's.
He sent you. So
Toaster
is it an
oven.
SNES? Like remind me. It's an SNES cartridge.
He sent me
It
a
is a
horse head.
Super Nintendo Entertainment System game. Yes.
Oh right.
As they
You don't
call
like
it.
how I pronounce SNES.
One
I
does.
mean, Ness is he's in the game Earthbound.
I don't
a
understand
fine,
why when I
Super
call it
Nintendo
SNES,
game.
you guys have no problem. SNES is okay, but SNES is not.
Yeah, because
SNES,
SNES is normal.
because SNES is not an acronymization, nor is it an abbreviation. It's just this weird hybrid between pronouncing it as an acronym and pronouncing it as a word.
Yes, you've taken Super out, and so it's Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Basically, is what you're doing when you say SNES. Whereas SNES, it's an acronym for all of it. Treated all of the parts of the acronym with equal respect and dignity.
Okay,
Because when you say SNES, you do not.
okay, fine.
This
So
is why
Mystic
I say
Quest, you
Super
have a copy
Famicom.
of you have a Super Nintendo copy of Mystic Quest. Talk to last guy.
Yes.
Yes, it was mailed to him like
As a
that scene
threat?
in The Godfather.
Who are
Yeah, you got a horse head in your bed?
He had a horse head in his.
And what happened here?
It was a threat, and I knew it was a threat. It's looking at me right now. I don't like it.
Should I know who Xandra is?
Xandra?
It was awesome. She's super cool.
No, I mean there's a
your hair
Xandra.
color? I
Oh, in
guess
this
I didn't
game?
know what happened.
Oh.
You
yeah.
were a victim of
Oh,
Etrus.
you
I was
should
about
know who
to say,
anyone in this
Alex
game is.
Xandra Van Chestine?
When I was alive,
Friend of the
Yes.
show?
I spent my days as
Yeah.
one of God's soldiers.
Yeah, Sandra's
keeping
great.
Those heretics in line. It wasn't easy.
Oh
but
no.
under the Order's authority, I worked day
Sandra
and night
spent
to
her
keep
life
the
as one of
peace.
God's soldiers.
That's probably why I was targeted.
It was certainly
These
courageous going
fucking
against
camera
such a
angles
dangerous
sometimes,
organization.
I swear.
Do you
I know
know
that you can
anything
like
about the
fuck
Shadow
around
Hunter?
with them, which is a
Rumor
really
has it
dumb
he's their
thing.
leader, a
Like,
renegade
why
rebelling
would you
against
give
the
me camera
established
controls
order.
during cutscenes?
Another
But
one
like,
of society's
the default ones are
outcasts.
terrible.
His actions weren't without good
Like, I
reason.
can't
In
even
all
see.
fairness, we
Like, it
brought
took
on
me.
ourselves.
It's
The
hard
order
to
went
see
through a
that this
dark
is where the
period.
ghost
A
is.
lot of mistakes were made back then.
Anyways, so
The elders used their
What were we
monopoly on
talking
food and
about?
goods to enforce the law.
Magic.
yeah,
And
Magic and
D&D.
D&D.
As we
So
tell
yeah,
you,
I
we're
think
starved
that
to
I'm
death.
gonna I'm
Neither's
excited
much of a
for
choice,
some of these
is it?
campaigns.
Of
I'm
course,
glad
when
that
you
I,
start reducing
the idea
food
of
supplies,
turning
what happens?
Lost Mines of Van
The
Delver
weak
into a
and
full
innocent go hungry
campaign,
too.
yeah, fuck it, go for
yeah,
it.
I mean it's
Then one day an incident
still
occurred
the
that
best
shocked
way.
everyone.
It's still the best way to teach a
Someone
person
stole
how
and
to play
redistributed
D&D.
the food reserves to the
It,
children
it
of Etro.
it's also
Many
like
of them
the
were on the edge of
best like
starvation.
archetypical. This is a D&D campaign.
Heroic bandit.
It even
D&D
starts in a
campaign.
tavern.
Rumor has it that during his operation, he snuck into the quarters of
It
one of
is
the elders
it is
and left a
perfect at
message
what
on
it
their
is
pillow
trying
while
to
they
do.
were sleeping.
I
Is what I
do.
would
I
say.
just to get back to the fact that
The Shadow Hunter will seek justice.
the fact that
The Order
I
got
have to point this
scared and
out.
began distributing
Those
provisions to
pre-constructed
everyone again.
campaigns, some are better than others, but I think it is really
It's strange
indicative
hearing
of
the
where the
stories
company
I've
is at
missed while I was
creatively in
asleep.
terms of at least
So
lore,
much has
world
happened
building,
in the
and
past
character
500
development.
years
That
I
Curse
know
of Strahd
nothing
is still the
about.
best one of
We
those.
never crossed paths
Yeah?
when you were still alive, and I can't even.
And I
begin
like
to
Tales of the
imagine
Yawning Portal.
What you must have gone through during your lifetime.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
I
pass
have
on my
not
stories before they
I have
disappeared
not
forever.
checked out
It's an honor
any of
to
the
be
more
shown
recent
who
ones
evolved.
though. Like
I appreciate you giving me your
because
time.
they've been doing a lot of smaller
Thank you.
compilation adventure books that are just like, here is just a bunch of unconnected adventures that you can plop in wherever you want.
I talked to 3 ghosts and now the quest is complete. Okay. I only got 400. Ah! Get fucked. What the fuck? That sucks.
Even though their lives were taken from them. they
Yeah, it's almost like
continued
you
to
don't need
exist
to
in
do
our
these.
world.
Game
Each
sucks.
one of them
You're right.
still shining brightly,
So,
you can, in fact-
Gino,
single
what's the
beacon of
state
hope
of the
for all
world
of
building
us.
for Magic? Because there was a
Those who
weird
still
time when
carry
they
on with
really
their
wanted you to
lives
care about
must
the
Is
story and the
Chandra
characters.
Nalar still in it?
She is. She's got a. Oh wait, no, she doesn't have a new card. Jaya has a new card. So the state of the lore right now, they have been building towards the Phyrexians coming back because Magic had like 3 big villains.
Mm.
The Phyrexians, who are they're machines that hate flesh. They want to turn everything into machines.
Oh, the
Um,
Borg.
The Borg. They're exactly the Borg, except they also, like, if oil from them gets on you, anything, it corrupts your spirit, and then you start making things into machines. So, like, if you don't wipe them all the way out, they always come back. So they came back. There was Nicole
Never forget
Bolas, the
these
big
innocent
dragon.
victims.
Yes.
If enough
I know
people
who that
wanted to
is.
keep them in their
I hate that
arms,
I know who that
these
is.
girls
We know
can live
who
for
that is
eternity.
because he's in D&D.
Is that what she wanted me to know?
Excuse me.
there's-
I
She wanted
also
the
know who
world
he
to
is
know.
because he was in Duel of the Planeswalkers 2010.
He's a planeswalker. He's one of the cards from. I don't think he's in Alpha, but he's in, I think, Legends. Like, he's one of the first cards. One of the first legendary cards they ever made was Nicole Bolas. And then they turned him into, like, one of the big bads 20 years later. So he was one of the big bads. And then there's the Eldrazi. You know what the Eldrazi are?
No.
The,
Life is a journey.
they're the cosmic horror villain.
Oh, okay. So the Cthulhu.
The Cthulhu monsters. There were 3 big ones. One of them consumed matter. One of them warped reality, and one of them
Yeah.
turned people into tentacle monsters. They killed many. They killed all but the Cthulhuiest of the Cthulhu monsters. And that one's like locked away. So, that's a story bomb that's eventually gonna blow up. Nicole Bolas, that was the whole like Return to Ravnica saga, was defeating Nicole Bolas. It's been defeated now. Now the Phyrexians are kind of the last villain that they've built up over like the last 10 plus years, and now they're unwinding that story. Like they've foreshadowed
that
it.
sounds interesting. So the state of
sounds like-
communicating that story
yeah.
has as Wizards just like, is it there? Is it not
Yeah,
there?
they did a really good job.
Okay.
So the Phyrexians, there was in Kaladesh, which was not Kaladesh, sorry. It was the Viking set, Kaldheim. In Kaldheim, which came out 2 years ago almost now, it had one Phyrexian card. One dude, and he gets killed. And it's like, oh, okay, so here's one of the big bads, and he got killed. Not that big of a deal. And then we had another Phyrexian show up like a year later in Kamigawa. And that Phyrexian shows up, and then you find one of the Planeswalkers Planeswalkers are like the big named characters in Magic.
Yes.
Uh,
My favorite
Timeo.
character, Chandra Nalar.
Yes. So
And
Timeo,
Jace.
Timeo, who is one of the Planeswalkers
have to
who's
be
been around for
crafted.
like 10 years,
Distinguishing
she's the Kamigawa-themed Planeswalker. She shows up, but she's been Phyrexianized. So she is her heart has been replaced with machines, and she's all fucked up.
If you can.
And so that she is
Sounds
now
pretty fucking
permanently, she's fucked up. So you just saw one Phyrexian, and then her basically corrupted. Then in the set after that, one more like legendary Phyrexian showed up, and he's the cool one. There's 5, one for every color. Be like bad. Oh, you mean?
No, I was talking about your thing. No, I was talking about your thing.
There's 5 like main Phyrexians, and they have names, and they're the leaders, and there's one for every color. So the green one showed up first, he got killed. Then the blue one showed up and murked one of the like named planeswalkers and converted her to like an evil machine. Then the red one who believes in independence, so he's the cool Phyrexian. He's like, we shouldn't be subjugating these creatures because free will is important. He showed up in the last set that just came out. Black one is showing up in the next set in Dominaria. Then the leader, the white one, is showing up in the set after that, and it's Lishnorn. This Phyrexian is in all the art, so we know that she's showing up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've unfolded this over like 3 years. 2-3 years worth of
Do you know what
foreshadowing.
they should consider doing? Making a non-card-based RPG set in the Magic universe.
Hey, remember that Magic Diablo game that
I
got
do
canned
remember
in
that
beta?
Magic Diablo game.
Do.
I'm not against them doing something like that.
Do
Except
you remember
maybe
the
not
Magic
a Diablo.
action games that came out for the Xbox?
I do remember those. I
No.
remember my friends.
Eno does.
I remember friends that are not Gino thinking that those were cool.
Card shop that I used to go to, they had what a card shop. They had 4 Xboxes all networked together, so people would play Halo when there wasn't enough Magic to go around, or like if you got knocked out of a tournament, people would just be playing Halo, full Halo. Sometimes they would just like lock the shop up, and then we'd just be playing Halo, which was awesome. And then on top of that, you could play other games. So that's where I played Mortal Kombat, the 3D one. You were playing Braden.
Oh, Armageddon.
Yes, I've played Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I played Shaolin Knights, Shaolin Monks, Mortal Kombat action game.
Yeah, that game is okay.
I tried to play the Magic action game. And
Why
that
is
game was hot
every
dog shit.
child voice in this game just complete fucking awfulness?
Children's voices suck.
Trying to do kids' voices suck.
Micah won't be coming to see you anytime soon.
Speaking of great voices, did either of you read the Waypoint article, the oral history of Tim Curry?
Going, space, the only place free from
Capitalism, space.
And
Just love
yes,
how
the
that's a
number
great
of
article.
random people they
Another-
got to do sound bites for that.
Got another time where there's a monster looming in the background while I'm having a casual conversation in a cutscene. Boy, howdy, they sure did not calculate for
Scott
this.
Kelly, astronaut and current U.S. Senator Scott
Got
Kelly.
U.S. Senator Scott Kelly. It's incredible.
Hey, he's the
And
more
also-
benign of the new senators.
Oh, for sure. It's just very funny to me that he was like, "Sure, I'll answer your questions about astronaut stuff," and then they ask him, "So is space free of capitalism?" He's like, "Well, I assume that's what they asked him based on his answer." They asked like astrophysicists and stuff like that about this.
They also asked Yanis Varoufakis, the former finance minister of Greece, who was also Valve's economist.
They also asked Michael Pachter about this. Michael Pachter's like, "I don't know that capitalism's bad." Like, oh,
Of course Michael Pachter
Oh,
would say
Michael,
that.
oh, Mikey P.
Of course
Pack
Michael
dog.
Pachter would say that.
Of course he would.
Um,
I keep the grind going. Never stop, never stopping.
if I was making as much as Michael Pachter, I would also say capitalism is good. If I got to tell corporations, like, hey, I think think Nintendo games are going to do really well this year.
Remember when people thought that Michael Pachter was, like, doing something revolutionary?
No.
Like, he was... Oh my god, he knows the industry, like...
So few
Like,
do.
yes, the man having a basic knowledge of the industry was enough.
I will
for
never
him to
forget
be-
him saying, yeah, I think that big box stores, they're all gonna go bankrupt. I think that within 10 years...
Mobile games.
Best Buy is just... They're gonna close up and they're gonna file for bankruptcy. And he said that, like, 10 years ago.
Yeah, mobile games of the future.
Of course.
Well, I mean, he wasn't
all-
technically wrong about that one.
Look, I mean, yes, but also he was wrong. Because all of these analysts who never played a video game in their lives were like, yeah, of course, all the console gamers will, of course, move to phones. That makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I still...
Yeah.
Welcome. Do come again.
Who do I need to... Oh, it's this guy?
Who are you?
You must be Erin. Here. I have a
And I'm
letter for
trying to
you
think
from
what the
Reddit.
other... Oh, they got the
Letter.
director of Clue,
Well, that's a name
who's
for
like,
a
I've
task.
never seen a video game, but Tim Curry is a consummate professional, and if he intended to read a line a certain way, it was probably intentional.
Well, that's his handwriting, all right.
And I love
I'd
that.
recognize it anywhere. Here, I've kept the journal with
That's
me
just like
as
Tim
I
Curry
wrote
has
it.
never committed a sin.
I
Curry
mean-
has never made a
How
mistake.
do you two know each other?
We used to date. Not one of my finer
I mean,
moments,
have
that's
you
for sure.
seen...
Hindsight, you know. But
Right.
that was lifetimes ago.
I don't even
He
think
made me keep this while we were still together.
Why would he give it to you
he
instead
hasn't
of
been
keeping
in
it?
very
Have
much
you read it?
lately because he had that
I'll
stroke.
never even crossed
Um,
And that's why he
I
couldn't.
knew anything that bastard
comment.
Reddick was
That's why he was
involved
not
with
interviewed.
couldn't be good. Please take it. I'm sick of carrying it everywhere. I'm just happy to wash my hands of the whole thing. It's your problem now.
All right, I get it. Thanks.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Guys,
Blight, you found his journal.
I have to decide if I get to... Do I
I know,
peek his
right?
journal or do I keep it a
Weird, huh?
secret?
What I don't understand
I didn't
is
realize
why
that the
there are
Banquet
so
of the
many
Lord also
people
had this
involved.
giant fucking
First
poster
Reddick
to
had it,
Snow.
then he gave it to his friend Erin for safekeeping.
Yes.
I didn't notice
I
that
wonder
at
if he holds
first.
Some sort of big secret.
Love
If
Snow.
secret's so dangerous, just having the journal
He's
in his
the
possession
patron.
could put him at risk. What do you think?
Ah,
Close with
shit.
you.
I think I should read the journal before I give it back.
It would be the fastest way to find out what's going on. But do you really think
Aw,
you should?
man.
I mean, it is private after all.
Privacy's for pussies.
does it
That's what the
really
federal
matter at this
government
point?
taught me.
I mean, we're already neck deep in his affairs. It's all for
Yeah,
his
fucking
benefit
balls
anyway,
deep in
right?
his personal affairs.
Okay,
He doesn't
it's up to
deserve
you.
privacy.
But remember, what's been read can't be unread.
Who doesn't?
If you want to do this, you're on
No.
your own.
They're gonna really give me a dialogue choice. Ah, this is fucking great. Oh fuck. Oh, this is great. Well, I think we read his shit. I don't know about you. I say we read his shit.
Voyeurism is a public good, actually.
Yeah, it's a good.
If social media has taught me anything,
I've never learned anything.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna read his journal. Fuck him.
I mean, the only thing I've learned from social media is that
I need to
all
know
of
the
my
truth.
relatives are
I
now
need to
horrible
know for now.
racists.
For his own sake.
Yeah.
Day 2505.
Oh,
I
shit.
searched every inch of Houston. I found
Oh
no
fuck,
clues
he was
of
just
any
trying to find out who
killable
murdered
child.
his wife and child.
Day 3229.
Oh.
I
Oh.
came across a merchant in
Oh, the
Warren who
corpses.
had a valuable piece of
What's this?
information about
Is
the
this guy
case.
Batman?
A certain
God, I
business
wish.
rival wanted me out of business.
Why did the text scroll up way faster than the man read it? Like why
Is his
why?
name Woos Bane?
Day 4762.
Why did the text was on there for like
Can't stop
2
picturing my
seconds and then
daughter's
now
corpse.
he's still talking.
Can't erase the image from my head.
This game's
I have
not
nothing
well
to
made.
live for anymore.
Look at this
It was made in
fucking
a year.
cityscape. I
Until
have
I
this
find
set to
justice.
ultra.
My family deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to run on an Xbox 360.
Yes, it had to run on an Xbox 360, and it was made again in a year.
Look at this. This is fucking great. Itchy,
Yes.
scratchy.
Day 15.
Itchy tasty, yes.
Justice will be served.
Who is this person? Did you
Some-
stop this man from committing a murder?
Day 15/7/58.
Oh, man.
Justice will be served. Day 15/7/59. Justice will be served. Day 15/7/60.
He's still talking.
Justice will be served.
He's still talking.
Justice will be served. Justice will be served. Justice will be served.
All work and no play. Something, something, something.
I can't believe Ranulph had to live through this kind of tragedy.
His wife and child were
Oh
killed
my
by a
god,
business
look at that
rival.
texture.
Begin to imagine how he must have felt.
Look at the
The
flower
journal
textures
begins
in the
from
screen
day
right
after the
now.
incident and goes on for years. I mean, look at the dates.
Only
He
have
must have been chasing
512
the killer
megs of
for
RAM.
decades. It looks like he was
That's
consumed
right,
by the
'cause
thought
this
of
was for the
revenge,
360,
nothing
right?
else.
360 and PS3.
Oh,
The S3 only had 256 megs of RAM because of the way it split its RAM,
I don't think he was lying. I think
which is
that's
why
what he honestly
Bayonetta
believes.
ran
I
like
think he
shit
truly
on
doesn't remember what
PS3.
happened. Look at these
Yeah, that was one of
journal
those
entries,
games
the
where
same
I
words
remember,
written
like,
over
even the
and over.
mainstream publications had
He
two
couldn't deal
scores,
with
one for the
reality.
360
He
version
must
and
have
one for the
cracked.
PS3 version.
Lost his sanity.
Yeah.
I have the 360
and with
version.
It, all his memories.
Yeah.
In the end, it was the only way he could survive.
You have
Cutting
the
himself
better
off from
version
the
of that
past
game.
was
Is
kept
is
him
M
going.
tuned in? Is
He
M
doesn't mourn his
on
family
chat? I don't think
because
so,
he
right?
doesn't
No,
know they have
I don't
access
think
to
I
she
think
does.
Bayonetta 1 is just okay. Bayonetta 2 is great.
My
Bayonetta 1
feelings
is
on
just
Bayonetta 1
okay.
have 1 and 2 have been well established. I think Hideki Kamiya likes Space Harrier too much. Much like our co-host Jeff Rude.
I don't even know how to react to that.
I'm saying this the Space Harrier sequence in Bayonetta is like 15 minutes long, and then is immediately followed by a turret sequence.
It sure is. Hey, remember when Dirge of Cerberus ends with a fucking Space Harrier sequence?
Sure.
Yes,
I don't think I
very
watched
much
that part
do.
of Joku's playthrough, but yeah, that makes sense.
Sure do remember that. It's one of the more inexplicable. It's explicable. It's completely explicable, but it's a choice that they made.
They made a choice, and God bless them. God bless them.
No. To say God had nothing to do with that.
I don't know. I think God had a lot to do with Dirge of Cerberus. And fucking all of those characters.
You
Neo.
know they're gonna,
Nero.
if not for the presence
Weiss.
of, well, let's see, they're doing the
Well,
re-release
obviously
of
God had a
Crisis
role in
Core,
it, because Genesis.
which was the one with Gact.
That is
that- is
Crisis
that-
Core.
Okay. Crisis Core remaster coming soon. These are the things I think about. Gact,
Fucking really.
fashion icon.
Gact.
Gact.
You.
He was in another game too that was on the Xbox and PS2.
We have to make a determination if we do pick Crisis Core at some point. Do we pick the new remaster, or do we play
Yeah,
the
because
original
it's
game?
more playable, and the alternative is playing a PSP game.
Yeah, but they're going to get
own
rid
the
of
PSP game.
They're going to get rid of the slot machine mechanics combat and replace it with the 7R's combat system. And I'm not saying that that means that it's better or worse. Actually, I would say the 7R combat system is probably better than the slot machines, but there's something about how that game plays that removing that part seems like a choice. I get Rocky Crags? I think I have enough time to do just one more quest. I remember where it was. So I teleport to the wildlands and then go to that spot where you are in, like, get those flower fucks. Okay, yeah, we'll go. Side question. See, this is why I like playing this game, because I can just, like, fuck about. I always forget which one's the Arias village and which one's the Jagged village. So the Arias village is the one with the chef, and the Jagged village are
I'll
the
be
weird
back in a sec.
mercenaries. I think. Anyways, so what's this traffic game? What's this game that you're gonna be playing soon, or is that a secret? I shouldn't say that.
It's fine. I mean, I'm playing it. It's interesting. I don't know if I'm good at it yet.
You know, if you really cared about traffic simulation, you'd play Cities Skyline.
Maybe that's true.
Where the fuck?
Possible
Where's my
enough.
fucking chocobo? Where's my chokey bro? Scared me, buddy.
Is your chokey bro? Is that what people are calling it now?
Choke my bro. Where do I need to be? Ah, right, the Rocky Crag. So when I'm here, so I gotta play matchmaker. I need 2 Rocky Crag mole. Forget, what do I need to get Rocky Crag mole? Rocky Crag mole. From the mud. Oh boy. I have the leather, I have the moon soul bloom. So this is the weird thing, Gino, because you can exterminate random encounters from the environment, you can actually screw yourself over in completing some of these side quests, because you can exterminate a random encounter that drops the one specific item you're looking for, and if you sell them and not realize it, you can't get that shit back, and now you just have this... Now you just have this treasure trove of side quests you will never be able to complete. So I ended up looking this up, and I think I want to talk about this on the podcast when we finish it, but I looked up the people who played this game and reached the end of the game and got the bad ending because they were not able to beat the bosses. Because I happen to think that it's actually incredibly hard to do that, but the way that you do that, it's not impossible to do, to get to the end and basically be forced to play New Game Plus in order to see the ending. So, let's say that you're just not able to beat Caius, or Snow++, or Knoll+, or Perandus, and you reach the ending. Basically, you just get the bad ending and it boots you back to the screen, and it allows you to play New Game Plus with your save data, so you have your same base stats, but all of your items are gone. Which means that basically you can just speed through the entire thing. However, the way that people got to that stage is that they didn't understand how to, like, guard or do certain parts of the game.
You're no match for
And
us.
they just reached it to where they couldn't beat some of the bosses. Which makes sense. But they also never got good enough to, like, be able to beat the bosses in the final day, which is something that you can definitely do if you're good. But, yeah. But it's a lot of people that just didn't understand how to block. They leveled their characters up real poorly. They couldn't complete side quests because they sold all of the items instead of keeping them.
I'm no thief.
You see this ugly fuchsia sword that I had? It's ugly. Now I'm wearing the Rastafarian outfit.
My journey doesn't end here. What's your most valuable treasure? Life is a journey.
God, that outfit is ugly. God, I hate the... Ugh. Why is the Wildlands map this big?
They needed one big map.
It's too big. Said no one.
Counterpoint, they did not, in fact, need one big map.
Ugh. Anyways. So, I just want to go ahead and say it. Y'all have played some real weird games this year for the main podcast. This might be the weirdest year. In part because
You can thank M.
M and her
M's fault.
hatred of not voting for a game that
Being
she
specific.
didn't even finish. Like, look, I think Vagrant Story is a good game. I even finished Vagrant Story. But M holding on to this hatred because no one voted for a game that she did not even finish is a weird thing. It's a weird thing.
A year-long vendetta over a game that is very good. But, I don't know. I would have simply finished it if I thought it was that good.
Well, I mean, that final boss battle is complete horseshit.
I mean, it is.
I think, didn't Brayden, I forget, didn't Relkin even rage quit the final boss of,
Yes.
He gave up.
Because the final boss very much punishes you if you do not have certain abilities.
Yeah, he built his characters in a way where the final boss was impossible, which, you know, I'm just saying, a Game of the Year candidate would not ever put you in that position. God, sometimes the particle effects in this game are just... He was doing 6 damage per hit. Yeah, I remember this.
Too much?
No, that's not enough. That was the point, that he was doing 6 damage with just his hardest hit.
The particle effects, I was saying.
Oh no, I think that the particle
effects are too
effects
much.
and the amount of bullshit that's on the screen when you're doing some of the most your simple commands is ridiculous.
For sure.
Like,
Caius' sword?
yeah, I have Caius' sword. It's a really good sword.
Bet. It was old.
Light, it's almost time to transport you back to the
Oh, the
Order
Wildlands.
to recalibrate
This
the time
area
distortion.
sucks.
I came here to pick up resources and I didn't even get one. Fuck.
I like the idea of Relkin fighting the final boss of that game, dealing 6 damage a hit, just persisting. Nevertheless, he persisted.
That is also him.
That's also Relkin.
That is also him, yes. Ask him about his Front Mission 4 playthrough currently happening.
I forgot about how you grind in that game. I totally forgot how you grind in. Maybe the absolute worst leveling system I've ever seen in a mainstream JRPG. So, Gino, in Front Mission, you're playing a tactics game.
Yes.
And in between the storyline required missions, you're supposed to do training missions to kind of level up your characters. And so basically consider it like a free battle that's not connected to the story that allows you to level up your stats.
Another
Now you
victory.
might
Yeah.
be thinking, oh, hey, okay, that sounds kind of cool. So training missions, how many are there? There's 9. And you have to do the
Seems
same
like
ones.
Too few. Too many.
No, there's just 9 in the entire game. There's 9 grinding training missions in the entire game. So when you need to level up your characters, you're going to play one of 9 permutations of the same missions. How's that sound?
Cool.
That sounds...
Yeah, he is not happy about how that game's progression mechanics seem to go. He said, like, straight up, just like,
This is trash.
you should play 3.
Gotta go there. So
And I said, okay, that's the one I own.
Aren't those games also super expensive now?
Front Mission 3, no. The answer to that is actually no. Front Mission 4 is very cheap.
Oh, okay.
And Front Mission 3 is still available digitally on PS3.
Can't find the other Rocky Crag mole. I would like to find this. The fuck is the egg?
Oh, this is a shame.
You have half an hour
What?
until you'll be transported back to the
So
arcade.
playing Freeway,
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you having a fun
and
time?
I think the game can't recognize a roundabout as the most efficient form of road design.
But a roundabout isn't the most efficient way to do a turn.
It is with multiple exits. I keep trying to put just a big old circle in the middle.
You do know that it's almost
The game's
time
like, no, no,
before
no,
you-
no, no, you idiot. It doesn't connect all the roads. Like, no, it does though.
Fuck. God damn it. I'm gonna have to do this on my final day. Well, at least I've reached the point to where I only have 1 day left of aimless bullshit. Everybody's favorite part of Lightning Returns, aimless bullshit.
It's the most known part of Lightning Returns for certain.
Okay. The 11th day is over. It's time to return to the Ark. Time for storytelling. Anyways.
LA story.
Ah, yes, one of the greatest stories ever told in modern video game history, Lightning Returns. Hey guys, I got a prediction. I've not played this part of the game yet. I bet we see Lumina.
Bet.
Ah, fuck, dude, it's goddamn Sid from 13. It's Sid motherfucking Reigns. What the fuck?
Is this the end of the game?
What the fuck?
Everyone loves Sid Reigns.
I take his form as a convenience, but I'm no more than a puppet.
I forgot about
so
him.
Who's pulling your strings? Benevolent?
Everyone should. Except people who play Opera Omnia.
The voice of many, of the countless multitude
He's
who
good in
call
Opera
chaos
Omnia.
home. I am the speaker.
Oh, you're
for
the Grim
dead.
Reaper? You don't say.
Tell me, Savior, do you know the
For the
ritual they
voice
call
actor who played
soul
Sid
song?
Reigns getting a second paycheck.
Vanille is planning to perform it at the cathedral.
Speaks for the
She
trees.
says it'll
Remember when
release the
Sid
dead
blew his
from their
fucking
suffering?
brains out
I guess
for
that means you.
reasons?
Vanille
that were
has
never
been
really clear?
misled. There is a truth she cannot see, a truth that lies within the unseen realm.
Oh, hey, so Vanille
No.
doesn't need to sacrifice herself? And
You
that
do
this
not
whole
understand
pact
the
we've made
role
with
of chaos.
Bunavilza is bullshit?
Chaos will drown this
You don't
world.
say.
No, you don't understand chaos.
Humanity, when we
Idiot.
die, we return to
Absolute goon.
but only for a short time.
Oh, Gino, I forgot to mention, just earlier today, Brayden was playing Melty Blood.
True.
Melty blood.
Melty Blood type Lumina. But if you'd like, we could play some Melty Blood Actress Again current code. Because the fan version of that game, there's a fan-made build with rollback netcode.
Of course.
Our souls are made
Chaos
of
is in our
chaos,
hearts.
which is why they return to it
Oh,
when
cool.
we die.
Thanks, Sid
But
Reigns.
they survive there. waiting
This
for
is
a new body.
fucking
which
great.
means you could be
Gibberish.
reborn
Just
into
this
the world.
gibberish
Absolute
bullshit.
gibberish.
Shows us the way. She is the only one who can tell us what to do. She has the power to guide us into the
I'm
future.
glad that this
Sacred
game puts a
one.
lot of like
She can
late
do what I
game
can't.
appreciation to Vanille,
Vanille
even
can
though
bring
she's
salvation
barely
to
been a
the
part of
dead.
the story for the first 60%.
But she doesn't know what she is capable of.
I don't know, maybe let
Everyone.
me do missions for her or have her be a
Why
part
would
of the
they lie to
mainline
her?
story.
They preach salvation.
Only for the living. The soul song will
Glad that
destroy
she's been
us
given
and
this
make you
power.
forget we ever existed.
That is completely unexplained. That
Boy,
is whole
you know
cloth
my
written
favorite
just
part
in
of this game is when they cut
want me
back
to
to
stop her,
13 and
right?
you realize how much better looking
Yes.
13 is to
And
this
then you
game.
must tell her what her real power is, so she can lead
Hey,
us to
remember when there were like
salvation.
more than 12 different
Is
types of
this what you
faces
all
in a
want?
Final Fantasy XIII game?
It is, but it is not God's will. If you answer our prayer, it will
Remember when the
defy
cutscenes
and
weren't in
Benevelza.
engine and were actually good
Those
to
who
look
try
at?
to defy the gods end up controlled by them and are destroyed
That
in
costs
the
more
end,
money.
Like Sid
Mhm.
Reigns.
I remember Reigns fought for humanity and he was killed for it. But the spirit
If you
that drove
defy
him was
God,
No,
you
that's
end
not
up
true.
controlled.
Reigns did not fight for humanity. He betrayed you to work with Space Pope. Don't you remember that part?
It's the stuff our souls are made of, and it's the reason that the dead.
You see,
live
he's a
on
tragic
in our
anti-hero.
hearts.
No,
and
that's
by
not
that, I
how that
mean,
worked. He betrayed us to sell us to Space Pope, and then he got depressed about selling us to Space Pope, so he took a gun and blew his brains out.
Defied God with a bullet to the head.
Did they just fucking for...
But now you're gonna
Dude.
tell me that it's nearly impossible to tap into.
This game,
Am I right?
what you need to understand,
What the fuck?
PP, but you need to understand this. This game has as little respect for itself.
I
as
mean,
it
I
has
thought
for
that
us.
stuff with Space Pope was really stupid, so if they're gonna just retcon it, that's fine. I don't give a shit, but like, also, that's not true? Also,
You mean Sarah?
every...
Are you saying we'll be able to reach
So
her?
the first game is about Space Pope
Sarah.
trying to be the ultimate god to reset the universe, and then the second game's about a villain that's not even connected to him in any way, shape, or form, Caius, who wants to reset the universe for his own whims and through his own process. And now there's some sort of bad guy that wants to reset the universe, except he's not connected to either Caius or Space
Chaos.
Pope.
It was the key to defeating God.
And they're all invented
If
just
I
in the
wanted to
game
use
with
it-
no
But they all do
foreshadowing
the
in
same
previous
exact
games.
thing, but they're not related to
Sarah.
each other.
How can I make you hear me?
None of it makes any gosh
I
darn
reach out
sense.
with every fiber of my being.
It's
But is
okay,
it enough?
CP. Just remember, these
I
games
just think
hate
it's-
themselves as much as they hate you.
I will say
Remember
this.
that Chaos is coming
Cry out
Chaos.
to you.
on Tuesday.
Will you hear me, Sarah?
All your
Will you
favorites:
answer?
Azazel, Valkia the Bloody, Festus the Leech Lord.
I
Village
don't
the
know about you. I
Curseling.
always like the villains that use plague. I just like fucking up armies through non-traditional means,
Yeah.
scaring the
Yeah.
shit out of them.
Aloft, give me another day.
So, just a question here: was that scene basically the scene in is it Two Towers or Return of the King where Aragon shows up and says, "Hey, ghosts, you fight for me now."
Yeah, basically. That's the thing that happens in Return of the King. Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Hi, Hope. I still don't understand why Hope.
Light, the end is almost here. One more day.
I don't
and then
understand why
destruction
Hope
of the world
either.
Will be complete.
Right. And there's no way I can delay it any longer.
No,
Goody. Thanks,
this
Hope.
is it.
Kill
you
Hope.
can still carry out your mission as the savior, but today is your last chance. Tomorrow in the cathedral, Vanille will perform.
How
the
do you
soul
get
song
the
for
extra
the order.
days?
The final
just
rites.
Do any
When the
missions at
souls
all?
of the dead will be
So
released
it's a
from
little
their
bit of
torment
both.
and returned
The
to
easiest
oblivion.
way is to just beat the
And when the clock
bosses.
strikes the hour,
They add
it'll
so
mark
much
the
more to
end of
Yggdrasil's
everything.
life.
It's an ending that not even God has the power to stop.
And also you need to. So you have to beat the 4 essential bosses. So you have to beat Snow, Noel, Caius, and Grendel. But remember, Grendel turns in Perandus, and they don't really explain how that works. But those 4 key bosses need to be defeated. They add a day each, and then if you do a certain number of side quests, that adds the final day. Yeah, let's talk to Hope.
Tell me something. You said that the
Talk to
souls of
Hope.
the dead return to the chaos, right?
The game keep giving you
that's true,
cool
then that's where
No, after a
outfits
certain
and
point,
stuff
it
at
does
the end of
not.
every
Her
day.
soul
It does
is
not.
lost out there in the chaos somewhere.
For God, the chaos is
Sucks.
an unseen realm. He cannot see inside. And so it follows that he
I'm so
doesn't
mad
the
I have to
power
play more of
find
this
her,
game.
I
as long
love
as
this
she is
game.
in the chaos, but he can do something else.
It's
You
very
love
silly.
dog shit.
But then
You
how
like
can
dog
she be
shit
the
too.
real
What the
Sarah?
fuck are you
You
talking
love
about?
rolling in a game that's
Well,
just like
don't you trust him?
Bill.
just
It's
no
true that
respect
even
for
with all
you
his
or your
power,
time.
God cannot extract Sarah's
I mean,
soul
you
from
like
the
Magic
chaos.
the Gathering,
But
so
there is another
Yeah,
place he
you're
might
you're
find
not
it.
wrong there.
He could take her soul from inside
pew
of you.
pew 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 pew.
How would
An
You're
opera
just making
omnia.
things up now.
And meanwhile, I'm
You
over
always
here
found
being
it
like,
hard to
"Hey
trust
guys,
people.
let me tell you about
What
Countdown
chance does God have?
Vampires."
Look, I'm not saying
Opera Omnia
you
is a good game.
But if you
I
do
will not
decide to
stand
turn
for your
against him,
slander of
you should
Opera
know
Omnia.
that
Yeah, it's a
I'll always
mobile
stand
game.
with
It's a
you.
mobile gotcha
You
game.
trust me, don't you?
Even if
Good
you're
mobile
saying that
gotcha
I
game,
found a
though.
way to not get exploited, it's still
It just
exploiting people.
seems like the more I search,
good game.
the further away I
It's well
get
made.
from
There are
finding
people
her.
who have
I've
probably
encountered more than a
felt
few
the
ghosts from
motivation to
past now,
spend
talked to
money
souls
that they
from the
did not
chaos
have on
even,
that day.
but I'm still no closer to finding Sarah. Not even a hint.
Yeah,
I don't know, but perhaps you've done everything you
probably.
can.
A
Maybe
casino
you
that
could've found her
only
already,
plays
but
bingo
something is keeping her
is
from
still a
talking to
casino.
you.
Like she doesn't want to see me?
Still a good game.
Is that
The
what you're
game part's
saying?
good though.
Of course, I don't think that's the case. But
Just
it's
got
possible.
Reno's new
Perhaps
weapon.
it's because you're too close
You're
to each
actually
other.
still playing that
You
game?
mean she's out there?
I'm
and can talk
actively
to other
playing it right
people,
now.
But not me. Tell you what, why don't you go out
Just
there and look
released
for her in my
Reno's new
place?
weapon, and I
I'd
got
like
it.
to
So
help,
you're gonna
right?
tell me that it's
But I can't
responsibly
leave the
designed when
ark.
you've been addicted
How
to this
about
game
this?
for at least
If
2
I happen
years?
to die before you do, for whatever
Look,
reason,
I play
I'll
like
make you a
5
promise.
minutes.
I'll try to
every
find
once
her
in a
the
while.
chaos. And when I do,
Well,
Hope
mate,
just said
I'll
that he
find some way
promises
for
that
you
if he
two to
dies,
be
the
together
last thing
again.
he'll do is help us beat Chaos.
Just hope.
He said he's willing to sacrifice his life for the fight against Chaos. Oh wait, there is a box. Oh, I didn't see this. I thought there was no box.
He's barely a character.
Quake has been unlocked. Oh, I locked up the last EP ability.
Oh, is it a damage ability?
What's this do? So Quake deals non-elemental damage to all enemies and launches them into the air, extends stagger time. Okay, I could see that, but I'm still probably gonna just use the overclock ability.
Never used Army of One. Is it any good? What does it do?
While press Q while overclock is active, so you have to click. This one's a little complicated. So you have to do overclock and then Army of One. So basically, it's the ultimate combo. So it's actually a 3-point thing, and it basically it's a party wipe, or it does like half of a boss's health. Basically, they found a roundabout way of doing. They did a roundabout way of doing Lightning's fucking special ability in Final Fantasy XIII, but you have to like do 2 menu inputs. It's fine.
But then the awesome part where you're just like jumping back and forth, casting that spell over and over and over again.
Or like playing Hope and doing nothing but Holy. Just dropping Holy like it's candy.
Well,
Sorry.
enjoy the end of this game. I think I'm gonna call it a night.
Okay. It's nice talking to
Have a
you.
good one, y'all.
Have a good one.
This is my debuff person. She wears pink spandex. God, I can't stop burping. I like Braden. She's got
Yeah.
a sculpted boob fixture.
I mean,
She's got a sculpted boob breastplate.
yes, she's a female character in a video game.
I'm gonna cancel culture you.
I mean, listen. I watched the first episode of an anime last night
Was it good?
called Girls Bravo.
Oh.
Do you know how long it takes before there are naked boobs?
Well, you don't see
that's-
nipples, do you?
Oh, you do, my friend.
Oh, then I must have watched the censored version many years ago.
The time to breast is 30 seconds.
All right. I'm calling it. You, me, Jeff. Let's see how long Jeff can last on an episode of Sicko no Quasar.
No. But yeah, it
I got
sure does
suspended
seem
from
like
Anime Vice because they didn't know I was a moderator on Giant Bomb. I said, Sicko no Quasar. There's no... Sucking titties ain't no special power. That's just life. And then they suspended me for like a day.
We're all going... No. But, yeah. Other than that, it seems like kind of a...
It was an of-an-era comedy show that people really liked because it showed
harem
boobies.
comedy where the main character is literally a doormat.
Isn't that the one where, like, the guy gets hives and the girls get hives or something shit
He
like that?
gets hives if a girl touch him.
Ah,
Except
yes.
for the alien girl. On the alien planet that is 90% women.
What's
And
the
so
show?
all
What
of-
was the show where a guy needs to find a girl who had a pair of panties that he found on the ground and they're like strawberry print panties?
I have no idea.
And he's on a quest to try and find a girl
Anime is bad.
who wore a pair of panties.
Anime is bad. Also, it's weird because Gundam ZZ is on Crunchyroll now, but not Zeta Gundam. So, there's Gundam 79 and Gundam ZZ, but there's not Zeta Gundam. And it's like, well, this ruins everything for me. And the eventual Gundam watch I'll definitely do. Yeah. It's fine. No one's watching this stream. They'll never know.
I hate you.
If you had finished Lightning Returns, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Anyway, I'm very excited for Planescape,
I am too.
even though I bet they will mess it up.
Okay, let's think this through. Will they mess it up? Maybe.
I know people are kind of mad about how they have treated Spelljammer, I guess, but also, of course, people will be mad. But like when I think about Planescape, I think about it's weird planar adventure shit. It is high concept philosophy, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, the video game Planescape is just literally the dude talking about shit for like fucking hours upon end.
And Planescape Torment plays on both of those, while also focusing it around a very personal story.
Yeah, I want to play Planescape for the podcast. However, I realize that it is the definition of a game that is flawed. But it's also...
Because any time you're not reading is bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a fun game to play. But also, on the other hand, you can totally get by the entire first half of that game just dialoguing your way out of it.
And also, like...
Then there comes the point where you actually need to
The game
play.
gives you party members who can solo most of the combat encounters.
I think the companions in Planescape are really well done and very well
Hey,
written.
remember how you can treat Dakon like shit and it will make his sword more powerful?
But also, like, at some point we're gonna have to talk about Chris Avalon.
Yeah. And the man has you can see how he feels about women reflected in his writing. Even in Planescape.
Like, at some point we are going to have to talk about Chris Avalon.
Yeah.
And
Well, hey, if not that, then the eventual KOTOR 2 episode.
Yeah, dude, and here's the thing. I love KOTOR 2. I really do. I think it's a good game. I really think it's a good game. However,
I rewatched Relkin play that game. And also, someone on a Discord I'm on also played that game for the first time and was like, wow, the ending of this game really does just go from 0 to 60 in kind of a bad way.
yeah, the ending of that game is not
Like,
good.
the ending where it explains, like, why your character is the special. And
Well, it's that, and it's just that entire final lecture you have with Kreia is the most unsatisfying way to end a video game. It's like, oh, I'll tell you how all these characters end. I don't know these ones, though. Nope, can't tell you any form of satisfaction with those characters. No siree, Bob.
Nope.
Is there any reason to play bosses more than once? Look at Noel and his stupid fucking baggy pants.
Yeah.
Look at his Sinbad looking stupid ass.
His puffy pants.
His Shazam, I'm a genie bullshit. His MC Hammer act. God damn it.
Yes.
All right, I've got Snowvillers Plus.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Love Snowvilliers Plus.
Villers. Where should I go? I'm trying to think real quick. Let's go to the Wildlands and finish this stupid shit with the girl who wants to bang that dude.
It really feels like the end now. Soon it'll be over.
Everybody thinks this is the end
It's
of the
been
world.
dying for 500 years.
I wasn't talking about the world.
Then what?
Never mind. Time is
Soon
short.
it will be over.
Every minute's precious now. Let's not waste any.
Oh, here's the other fun thing, is the definitive edition version of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous and the roguelite DLC are dropping pretty soon. And I feel like that would be a fun stream, is to just solicit character recommendations from the chat or the Discord, and then try and build a party and see how far I can go.
Right. Okay.
Because that game gives you so many weird subclasses.
Yeah, it does. And it's great.
Yeah, it does. But, you know, most of your party members are fairly sane character subclasses.
Who gives a shit?
So it's like, finally, build my own custom party. Make a war priest.
Bye. Okay. Plus 800 magic. Holy shit. Clearly, all of these high-tier weapons are only accessible in New Game Plus, is what I'm getting.
Yeah. Or you have to save up the entire time.
I'm just getting the sense that this game really thinks highly of its New Game Plus when it probably doesn't deserve it.
That's most JRPGs.
Come back soon.
Okay. Relkin's still having a bad time?
Let's see.
My
Fire.
journey doesn't end here.
Okay. Gotta get some weird animal eggs. Chocoborel. I'm not fighting you. Oh, yeah. I think we had a nice talk with Gino about, you know, magic and wizards.
Of the Coast.
Yeah, I would say as disillusioned as I might be in terms of how bland and sameness D&D, I always appreciate him reminding me, yo, shit could be worse.
Yeah, it could just be Magic the Gathering.
Could be in the
terrifying.
same situation that most Magic fans are, where they feel like the state of their hobby is like in the actual doldrums of death. I don't know. I think I almost wish they had committed to an official 6E, but it's never gonna happen, and I need to get over it.
No, it sounds like they are going to build off of 5e instead of doing a full rework, almost as if 5e has been very successful for them.
Oh shit! What? Say what? Although I've had to correct a lot of people, like, a lot of people seem to still believe in the idea that it was Stranger Things that saved Dungeons & Dragons. No. Like, people don't realize, like, D&D was getting popular even before Stranger Things.
Critical Role happened before Stranger Things.
And also, I hate to say it, but, like, the people who designed 5e deserve a lot of credit for making a game that was way more accessible than anything prior. Say what you will. 5e is accessible for the most part. For the most part. For the most part. Right?
Yeah.
Like, no one's gonna look at 5e and say, oh my god, this is so hard. Well, actually, people say that all the time. But, I digress. That's a different topic. They're not, like, looking at Pathfinder and saying, oh my god, this is way more user-friendly. I must play this game.
I mean, I feel like if you simplify any more than D&D, you just get to Powered by the Apocalypse.
Yeah, you say
get
that
to-
like it's a bad thing.
I do. Because
Beautiful soul.
Because everything just boils down to rolling 2d6 and adding a modifier between 1 and 3.
What What if we went to the world of darkness?
Absolutely fucking not. I'm not a Hot Topic cooled goth kid.
What if we played mage?
I repeat my argument that anyone who actually plays tabletop World of Darkness had a mall goth phase that I cannot relate to. Maybe I've threatened to run a Ravenloft campaign before. That's as far as I've gotten. But like, oh, we're a bunch of cool, sexy vampires and we scheme against each other
Odin, back me up.
in our hot tubs. We use the term kindred.
I seem to recall you really liking that visual novel I played.
I do. I think Shadows of New York is like a very good, like, to be clear, I think there's some very good Vampire the Masquerade ancillary stuff. Like, Shadows of New York is very good. But it's one of those things where, like, as an active participant, I find, like, the idea of...
I remember at one point showing you my Mage the Ascension character sheet, and you decided to...
Yeah, and I went, fuck this.
You did not react very well to that.
Yeah.
I cannot find this other rocky mole egg.
So I have to ask.
What?
I'm sure you guys probably have already talked about it, but what do you think about this D&D announcement?
We were actually talking about this.
We are actively talking about it.
You're on.
It's really telling that Braden and I are more excited about the 5e 2023 expansion packs than the actual
rework.
Oh, you mean one D&D?
Yeah, one D&D. The worst. It's
bad branding.
It's like Xbox One.
Yes,
it is a terrible branding name. And the idea that they are basically saying, hey, you know D&D Beyond and how, like, we very much forced people down that route if they wanted to play digitally? What if we doubled down on that and made a tabletop client in UE5?
I'm curious, is there a... Can you play D&D on Roll20?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I didn't know if that was something they would
free.
have cracked down or something.
The people who actually took the time to buy books separately on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, but
they're about to get fucked.
My problem is I own all of the books physically, and I ain't gonna double dip.
Well, that was the
D&D Beyond also just seems like it's really overpriced.
Yes, because I can.
If you want
get
this
all
to
of
actually
these
be a
books.
useful tool, spend like $100.
Yeah. If you want all of the rules that your players will want to use, yeah, that's a cool hundo.
Yeah, but what if I just found
Pirated a bunch of
PDF?
PDFs? Because they don't sell the PDFs legally anywhere.
But what if I went to a weird Russian site?
Yeah.
No,
Christopher
nothing
Perkins, don't listen to this, Chris Perkins or Mike Merles. Don't listen to this.
Yes, Chris Perkins is going to show up behind me with a knife.
Chris Perkins is going to, he's going to be like, you can
I
certainly
understand
try
that you...
bitch, and then slit my throat. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, they're Washington-based, right? So
yeah.
it's
where
possible.
you live. They're just like...
They're like northern Seattle metro area, right?
Roll a fortitude save with disadvantage, and then stab you in the kidney. Yeah.
But you've already bound my hands. How can I roll it? Ha ha ha.
There we go.
Ha 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 ha.
Okay, so now I've got the Rocky Crag mole.
When they made all of those old D&D PDFs available for purchase on drive-thru or DM's Guild, I like a sucker picked up quite a few of them, even though I have used basically none of them.
But you have.
But I sure have read through a decent chunk of those Planescape.
Hey, you know what?
Yes.
Source books can be a good time to just read through.
Those
Yeah,
Planescape
I feel
source
like
books have great art
Yeah.
and a lot of just like weird shit.
So I bought the hardcover version of the Art and Arcana, a visual history book, and it's one of my favorite things to just open up and look at from time to time.
Yeah, old D&D art is good.
Except the weird
Except when it's
booby ladies.
bad.
But I don't know if Braden has this book. It's actually fucking rad.
I don't. I did buy reprints of I bought a print-on-demand version of the 3rd edition book, Red Hand of Doom, and also the Night Below campaign for 2nd edition.
God,
I
that
threatened
original
to run those.
That original Spelljammer font. It's so good.
Yeah, I got Spelljammer too. Because I think those old setting books are like the most interesting part of those old rule sets.
Yeah.
And they're going back to Planescape, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. 2023.
Sure.
That'll late 2023.
2024, literally 10 years after 5e it released.
Yeah.
It's time for something.
I guess I understand why they decided, like, hey, we're not really going to change it too much. We're happy with where it is. It's like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Otherwise, he would have done something a while ago, for good or bad.
I think that the thing that it will be interesting for me to see is if they're just going to expand upon 5e and basically do a 5.5. Like, how communicative, like what backwards compatibility is going to be
They claim
fully backwards
claim
compatible.
is that it is all backwards compatible. That is the claim.
So obviously it can't be too different.
So, yeah. I mean,
But
you have
hey,
to do
now
that.
your stat increases at character creation come from your background and not your race.
It's just...
Yeah, racial stuff has always been weird.
Yeah.
Except in the case of, like, I'm playing a centaur. It's like, oh, okay, they're probably... That's not just, oh, you're a different kind of person, but it's like, no, I have a horse body.
They are putting orcs in the core rulebook and some sort of celestial furry
Sure.
race.
Is it a... is it Asani? What's the celestial...
It's not Azamar.
I was going to say an Asmar fucking Khajiit.
It is a Ardling. Ardling are supernal beings who are either born on the upper planes or have one or more ancestors, their bright sword. Ahem. An Ardling has a head resembling that of an animal, typically one with a virtuous association.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
this is...
yeah.
What's virtuous?
Yeah, it's virtuous.
Virtuous is apparently if you are from the chaotic good planes like Arborea and Easgard. Suggested animals are cat, eagle, goat, mule. The neutral.
Goat? Are goats good?
Yeah.
I thought goats were like the
Satan.
quintessential neutral.
Oh no, I thought
animal.
goats were
Goats
Satan.
are evil. Okay, if you want the lawful good, if you're from the lawful good planes,
Fuck it.
suggested animals are elephant, owl, pig, stork. And if you are from the idyllic planes, the neutral good planes, the Beastlands, Bitopia, Elysium, then it is bear, dog, raven, toad. And you get different cantrips depending on which legacy. But
Hey, Braden, what if they made poison spray not dog shit?
what if they took the spell lists and they compressed them down to 3 spell lists?
Oops, shit, my hand shifted.
And what if they re-emphasized feats?
What if they brought
Oh,
back...
it's got feet?
These days,
Yeah,
it's all about
yeah, it's got
surviving
feet.
from
What
one
if-
day to the next.
What if they brought back exotic weapons?
Never. exotic weapons were never worth
Thanks.
the
Then make it
investment in
work.
35.
Perfect way to
Just make it
introduce
work.
myself.
They're a
I've
cool
dragged other
idea.
people into helping me with
Yeah.
this, so I can't
I feel like
back
their
out right
decision to
now.
not really
I
change
am
stuff has
going to
basically
visit Dr.
cemented
Sheep right
my
away.
decision. I don't really want to go back to playing D&D. Like,
I
I'm really only
will-
interested in it as a video game, like, rule system, not actually for tabletop.
Give me Baldur's Gate 3 before they rework 5e.
Give me Baldur's Gate, but not Larian.
Too bad. It's called Pillars of Eternity, my friend.
Yeah. Yep.
Called Black Geyser, Couriers of Darkness.
No.
I'm gonna
Get
I'm
out
gonna
of here.
gift you that game the next time it's on
No,
sale.
you
and
you
force
already
you to
said
play
you
it.
didn't like it. No.
Yes, a game that I thought was too boring for me.
Chat, help! Mommy and Daddy are fighting.
I refuse.
That's how much I enjoyed Black Geyser. So obviously, I'll say right now,
Why are Mommy and Daddy fighting?
if I get let's say at least 20 sub points, I will play all of that game on stream.
Why do you hate yourself?
Because I want money.
God, that sounds awful.
They keep patching it. They claim they have added more incidental dialogue for party members.
Brayden, you don't need to do that.
You, sir, you cannot lecture me on this topic, sir.
That's right. He is
Mr.
right.
I am doing all of the bad side quests for this game.
Look,
Mr. I played all of that Sword Art Online game.
I mean, listen, he did say in text that this is the last time he's going to mess around in optional side quests for this game. He's going to finish it next time.
yes.
You're gonna finish it.
I really do need to play around with these fucking abilities.
It's like how
I really do need to just make a shit ton more of heavy slashes.
Yeah, level 3 stuff is very good.
But even even with fully buffed level 2s is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you got that Art of Saros.
Anyways,
Pretty busted.
Brayden,
yes.
what's on the let's do a listicle. What is on your top 5 most wanted list for 5.5e if they make it?
You mean 1 D&D?
1 D&D, yes. I am very into the idea of
Of more cantrips. That's what the people want.
Fucking Darkstun in. Fucking cowards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure,
Yes,
that'd be a
sure.
fun
Yeah,
setting to go
that
to.
would be an interesting idea, sure.
Yeah, they should do that.
I can also see why they wouldn't, because Dark Sun is an incredibly depressing setting.
Yeah, it's the most grim darkenest, but it's also very Mad Max. So
It's also our
Wait, they
potential
already have
future.
their Mad Max with Avernus. Why would they?
I don't talk. We don't talk about that adventure because people found it disappointing.
I want to be a bug man.
Yeah, I want to be a Thrycreen.
Yes, a Thrycreen or a what's the weird mule person?
Yeah, Mule. MUL.
Is it just mule? Okay.
Yeah, it is the crossbreeds between humans and dwarfs are like these weird. They're basically Danny DeVito.
I like how the 2 cleric classes. Cleric is like actually like a nature priest, and then Inquisitor is like literally just like a warlock, but it's not like the deity, but it's just like the dude that rules that
Yeah,
castle.
it's
over
literally
there.
the sorcerer king who rules your city-state.
There's some really problematic shit in there in terms of like what Inquisitors are allowed to do in their home state based off
Yeah.
their level to the citizenry. It's like,
There-
why did you guys write
There's
this
also
all of this? At level 8, you can just investigate somebody's home and they have to stand by while you do whatever you want in there. You're like, this is a problem.
yeah.
somebody, there were some uncomfortable campaigns, for sure.
Yeah, but I'm saying as far as like
X-rated campaigns.
you lean into the Conan the Barbarian shit.
It's not fatal.
No, it's not fatal. But I'm saying, if you were to bring back, because they brought it back for 4th edition. They brought back Dark Sun for 4th edition.
Sure did.
And I think they could just, yeah, they could do it for 5e. They just lean into like the weird pulpy fantasy nature of it. Just like, yes, you will serve the Sorcerer King. And then it's like, elves are desert asshole thieves. And also, none of the dwarfs have beards because it's too hot.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Been pretty clean shaven during this whole heat wave. Because facial hair sucks when it's warm out. And I live on the coast, so there's usually like 65% humidity.
Oh.
This looks like a Keyblade, but it's green.
What are Keyblades?
What? Oh, they're
So a Keyblade, it unlocks hearts.
Uh-huh.
Mickey Mouse has one.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
he
he's
uses
cool.
that-
I like
so
Mickey
he uses
Mouse.
that to edit copyright protections? That's the
Yeah.
key?
He says, I'm gonna make sure copyright lasts forever. You'll never get Steamboat Willie.
Well,
Oh yeah,
he says.
chomping at the bit to get that.
Making something public domain will cheapen the brand. That's what he says.
I guess so. I'd love to see Disney just get like split up into 20 different companies.
you believe that governments will take an active role in deregulating?
I didn't say I think it's gonna happen.
Hey,
I'd say I'd
listen.
love to see it.
You'll see it happen, but only under the oncoming DeSantis presidency, where he does it despite Disney.
No, I don't.
Too woke. We're breaking up, yes, antitrust legislation, but only for the woke companies.
Yes, Disney.
Yes, those woke people over at Disney. The company who puts any scenes of homosexuality in easily removable segments so that they can sell their movies in China.
Hey, Zombie it seems like you need more Rocky Crag moles.
I already got it. I did it.
Oh, okay.
I already gave her the stuff. That's why it said 0. So now I need to find her, trying to get her. Where you at? You want that man meat?
No.
Tilda, I see.
Not a cannibal yet.
Hey, Dr. Sheep, there's a chick. She wants your dick.
Yes.
Nothing.
Cult of the Lamb, you can convince your followers that
Are these what I think they are?
cannibalism's okay.
All the natural ingredients I've been searching for. This will advance my research immeasurably.
Would you ever eat anybody if you had to?
Yeah, you say you wouldn't eat anybody, but you weren't on the Donner Party.
Do you?
No, I'm
You're
afraid
right, I
not.
wasn't.
Should I? Have we met before?
See, what I would do is I would wait for the person that inevitably starts to like bring up the topic again and again.
It's not you after all.
And then we kill them and eat them.
Yes, preemptively. Like, no, they're gonna be the problem. Like, eat them first.
Did you say Deet? How do you know my real name? Wait, are you?
So just a heads up.
Oh,
Okay.
your sisters. You're a sister. Oh, fuck, I fucking fucked that up, didn't I? Oh, shit.
Just a second. You two are long lost.
This guy's outfit is pretty wild. I love his angular his pecs are.
Sister?
Yes. We got split up hundreds of years ago. It happened back when the chaos first
poured into the world. I never thought I'd find you out here. I mean, when I first saw you, I couldn't believe
God,
my
your
eyes.
outfit on lighting
So
is just
long ago, after all.
atrocious.
Yes,
Thank you.
I could
Very
say the
bad.
same. Why, I'd long given up hope that you were still alive. But I don't understand. Why didn't you come to me right away?
I was afraid. I didn't know what I'd do.
I love
if you
this
weren't really
this
my
tender
brother.
moment between these
No one
long-lasting
knew your
strange
name
siblings,
either.
done at
Everyone
20 feet
called the
apart.
doctor.
Just fucking
So,
weirdest.
I just waited.
Camera angles
until
in
you
this game
found
are
an excuse
weird.
To approach him. Yes.
That's right.
although if I had to
Yeah,
be
this
totally
outfit
honest
is
with
awful.
myself,
I just
the fact
love it.
is, I was just putting it off for as long as I
I
could.
think it's the facial
It's
accessories
your
that really
fault, Doctor.
dial it in.
Now, how could you forget
Is that a monocle?
your own
The
Yeah.
fact that they
face?
just took all the
But I
assets
didn't.
they had and
I
then like
did,
clearly
but I
randomly
thought she was dead.
distributed them.
She looked familiar, but I had no reason to expect my sister
Pretty
to
good.
be here. It
Yeah.
was inconceivable.
Oh God,
Great.
didn't realize that was part of like a
Waited
facial
for
mask
so
thing.
long.
She's just transforming into a
And
40K
I,
character.
too,
Yeah,
dear
yeah, that
sister,
Like she's
I am
like
sorry.
3
Part of the
steps off
plan.
from being a member of the Adeptus
Part of the
Sororitas.
plan.
It's
Yeah.
all right. I'm just so happy.
Listen, yeah,
that
she's
you're
part of the
alive.
Inquisitor Demon
I can't
Hunters.
believe it.
She's got a
It's
giant
like
weapon.
a dream come true.
Give her some pauldrons. And a white and red motif in her clothing.
I
And
got a
then
yellow ribbon.
a Aquila.
Hey, they should.
Dearest sister, it's
Where,
been
where's
far
my
too long.
Adeptus
We
Sororitas
have a lot
video
of catching up
game?
to do.
It must come eventually, right? I mean,
What
they
if
have.
Space Marine but women?
They're like
Bring
halfway
more
to.
women fascists.
Oh, there's a lot in them already. Isn't there one in Demon Hunters? An Inquisitor?
Yeah, the Inquisitor lady in Demon
People
Hunters.
people seem pretty hot for her.
Yeah. I think the cutscenes in that game are animated weird. And maybe a little too talky for
For what you want.
what I want. Like, it's good because you know how in XCOM every month you get the, report to the council thing?
Sure, but it's
And
just
he's
you
like,
click
"Hello,
OK.
Commander.
And
Your
that's it.
performance was mediocre." And I'm like, "Fuck you."
I'm trying, man.
I'm trying, man. Well, in Demon Hunters, it's your chapter master just being like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? You're off on this wild goose chase against demons."
Give me your badge.
And then you can basically, your options are like throw the Inquisitor under the bus, which unsurprisingly lowers your research rate because she gets demoralized.
Pissy.
Or you can take the blame, and then he will be like, "All right, then I'm not sending you more requisition." Or you
Great.
can,
I'm just look.
yeah,
I have it in my heart
It's good.
to care about one Warhammer property coming up, and that
Yeah.
is Darktide.
Yeah.
No, I am kind of excited for Rogue Trader. Because that's probably the best one to actually. I mean, Dark Heresy is also great for what they're doing, but Rogue Trader is
Trader is
exciting.
like the one Warhammer setting that actually allows for.
No, Dark
a lot of-
Heresy for sure, but
Yeah.
Rogue Trader has a lot of stuff built in terms of your ship and your crew
Yeah.
and stuff. That makes more sense for like a meta management and progression.
Fair
Video
enough.
games.
Fair enough.
Where's my Black Crusade game? Let me be the bad guy.
Oh man.
Let me convert a planet to
What
the forces
if they
of
had
chaos.
another go at making a Tau campaign?
Yeah.
Be a Dark Eldar raider.
The problem with being a Tau is that you can't level up because you're in the wrong caste.
Oh,
Cast?
It's cased.
Cased?
right.
Yes.
Never heard of it. Cased.
Um,
Are we all gonna give Braden a hard time for how he pronounces stuff? Because I get a lot of shit for it.
no, it's pronounced cased.
I'm seeing cast.
You're a cast. I'll put you in a cast.
Or is this might be maybe an American versus British thing?
Yeah, probably.
British apparently pronounce it cast.
Show me your cast.
Isn't cast though an Indian word?
Mm-hmm.
I am not a
Because
linguist.
isn't that ultimately from India?
Yes.
Maybe it's cased in.
Oh shit, that's a lot of fucking slimes. What the fuck?
Um,
I'm pretty sure it's cost.
Costco.
Cost. Costco. The true cast. And you go to Costco.
The true cost when you go to Castco.
I can. Get those free samples.
I feel like I can get an entire meal out of a Costco sampler.
Well, yeah. Now that Six Flags is cutting down.
They're not just cutting down. I'm also going to lose my home park. Thank you very much, you inconsiderate son of a bitch.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, listen, they want the target audience, CP. They don't want the Kmart audience, which is like one of the most.
Is that an actual quote?
That's an actual quote from the CEO of Six Flags.
Wow.
One of the most blatantly classist things I've heard.
Well, people who make a little bit more money.
Oh,
than
the theme park is too cheap, so teens have been using it as a daycare center during the summer. Oh, you can't have that. We're a sophisticated theme park.
Yes, Six Flags, a sophisticated theme park as the old man mascot dances in the background. Was that Six Flags?
Yeah, that
Yes.
was Six Flags.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was Six Flags. But yeah, my home park's about to be demolished.
I'm
That
sorry.
sucks.
Progress.
You're no match for us.
It's okay. My sister's family lives near Orlando, and they have season passes.
I told you guys that I got my money back out of my food pass, right?
Yeah, I know.
So for my summer break, I went at least once. So in a regular week, I went to get food from the theme park at least 3 to 4 times per week. I made it my mission to do it at least for 2 weeks in a row,
Yes.
and it was good food. I think that the burritos that I made, even though they were fresh, were a little on the under-seasoned side. Hey, it's me, Zombie Pie, your designated reviewer of food served in a fucking theme park. I'm here to talk to you.
I mean, no, because that guy did reveal that life hack and then they got rid of the program at the park he went to.
Yeah, he ruined it for the rest of us.
I think the last time I went to a theme park might have been in high school.
The last time I went to a theme park was the last time I visited my sister's family.
Guys fucking up.
No, actually, it was
Fucking up. They're fun.
time
Roller
before
coasters are fun.
Yeah, no, the Avatar ride at Animal Kingdom, that's cool. My mom cried after she went on it. She's like, "Oh, it's just, so creative." And I'm like, "Mom, you should play a video game.
Let me show you what real art is, Mom."
Let me show you what pretty graphics can do."
You're no match for us.
But,
This one's called Shadow of the Colossus.
that Jenny Nicholson video where she roasts the Avatar section of Animal Kingdom.
I think it's a very good section.
Yeah, but it's also like a very good goof because it's never entirely clear if she's ironically or genuinely into Avatar the property.
Oh no, no one should actually like Avatar the property.
Well, I have bad news.
A lot of people do.
There are 4 of those movies coming out.
That's the weird thing about that whole situation is that, like, does James Cameron not realize that there was a time and place for him to make a shit ton of Avatar movies and he's completely missed the mark because he keeps fucking around?
He'll still make plenty.
He's James motherfucking Cameron. No one tells him no.
Also, if it's timed correctly, like if it comes out, I'd say within like the next. Well, when is it planned?
Avatar
the
2 comes out this year.
Oh, okay. This might
And then
end up benefiting from some of the.
sequels is supposed to come out like one a year because they shot all of them at once.
I wonder how much this will benefit from the same thing that that Top Gun movie did, just in terms of people being excited to go back to theaters in droves.
I don't understand those people.
Top Gun Maverick was actually good.
My parents liked it a lot.
Did I tell you how I got a free ticket to Top Gun Maverick?
Yeah.
I
think so.
I think I told this story in Discord. I haven't said it in chat. So I was attending a funeral. And
I remember.
I was attending a funeral, and this friend
Where is
of
this
mine-
going?
I gotta stop playing this game. So I was attending a funeral, and the family was, let's say, not economically in the best place. And he was a good friend of mine, so the family could afford a very basic funeral, services, had a priest, do the whole thing. But they couldn't afford the catering and the food and, the normal stuff that you do at the funeral home. And so time comes when everyone's had their piece and said their things. His mom is like, well, I know that we couldn't get catering, but we all want to kind of talk about so-and-so and kind of how important he was, so how about we go to Applebee's? So the post-funeral meal was at an Applebee's, and I didn't want them to pay for my food, so I offered to pay for my own food. And I realized that the rule at this Applebee's was if I paid $35 or more, I could get a free ticket to Top Gun Maverick. So I had to strategically plan my meal, and it was a margarita, a New York cut steak, broccoli, and mashed potatoes.
That was 30. I mean, I guess the margarita.
Yeah, it was the margarita. It was an endless margarita.
Oh, the best kind.
And then also I had fries as well.
Fries will also do it.
Yeah. I got a free ticket to Top Gun Maverick for being at an Applebee's after a funeral.
Sure.
We've all done worse things.
Applebee's is not that bad.
I have not been to an Applebee's in more than a decade.
Applebee's,
14 years for me.
I have a hard time getting angry at Applebee's like the way some people get mad at Applebee's, just because people who make like generic run-of-the-mill American food, like American food deserves like to be made fun of or turned into just weird trash. So I have no problem with Applebee's. Like,
actually, the last one I was at was in Moscow, Idaho.
Yeah.
Back when I was living in Pullman.
Exotic. Hey, Moscow is fine. It's
it's a fucking floral thing. It's a fucking fuchsia-looking motherfucker. Look at this shit. It's the last one. Fucking. Aw, shit. What do you think you can do? I got wind magic, bitch. Eat my ass. For days. Oh, yeah, you're gonna die.
My journey doesn't end here. I follow the wind.
God, this Rastafarian outfit is just the worst.
Yeah, but look how much damage you do.
It's a lot.
I got attack level 4. I got a skeleton's earring. Okay, let's...
You exterminated that creature.
I killed it. I killed the shit out of it.
Well,
No
listen, they were all going to be
room for it
destroyed
left.
anyway.
Boy, that one side quest where the side quest is basically kill every single last one is... I know why every video game does that side quest. That side quest is in every video game ever. However, that is among my least favorite side quest ever.
It is a new Game Plus side quest. It is a side quest for people who hate themselves.
I did it my first time around.
I know.
What are you saying?
All right. Need to turn this chair around. Talk to the kids like kids talk.
You see, kids,
Yeah,
don't
let me get a
We're
baseball
not so
cap and
different, you and I.
turn it around.
turn it around.
We are not so different, you and I.
Brother, you get all the proper genes. What was it? And I get all the recessives.
Yes, all the dominant genes,
Dominant, there it
brother.
is. Punnett squares, how do they work?
Hey, Brayden, are you actually going to finish Nox, or have you ever finished Nox?
I don't really want to.
I don't really want to finish Nox.
What class did you pick?
Magic.
Because that's the fun thing about Nox, is that each of the 3 classes has a slightly different path through the game in single player.
Cool.
I don't know him, but he seems like such a nice man.
Light, what are you gonna do with that journal?
Like, you will go through the levels in a different order.
Do you think you should?
If he reads this, he'll remember everything, even the ugly past
But
that he worked so
I
hard
think
to forget.
we will not have
He's lived happily
enough
for
to talk
centuries.
about for more than, let's say, 90 minutes, unless we go on a lot of tangents, or just talk about Westwood a lot.
Oh, boy.
I like Legend of Kyrandia.
Yeah!
This last season of
Legend of Kyrandia
Westworld.
2
Glad to hear that.
is
Ranulph, I have
pretty
something to
cool.
tell you. It's about your journal.
Malcolm's Revenge. I want ZP to play Malcolm's Revenge.
I
Because
don't know what that is.
that is the 3rd Legend of Kyrandia
I have it
game.
with me now, in
Ah,
fact.
is it bad?
So,
Don't get too
first
excited.
off, they replaced all of the
You
beautiful
know what's
sprite
written
work
in it for
backgrounds
good
with
reason.
pre-rendered
You made
ones,
yourself forget.
Oh.
but all the
And
characters
some
still
things
are,
better
you know,
left
sprites, so it looks
Mhm.
real
Ready to
bad.
accept the reality of your past. If not, please don't read it.
What do you mean?
But it is
reality
basically
of
an
my
adventure
past?
game that is trying
I'd like to
to,
know.
that is filled with
I may regret my
as
decision,
many,
but
like,
yes, I'd like to
goofs
read it.
and gags taking the piss out of
Prepared
adventure
to
games
face
as
the truth.
possible.
You're absolutely sure.
Sure,
And that
it's laugh a
includes,
minute.
Right.
and that
Here it is.
includes
The part of your past you've been
intentionally
missing all
tedious
this time.
puzzle design.
My favorite.
I remember
Also,
now.
it's, you know, how
I had a wife and
it's one of those
daughter.
games
They were taken
where
from me.
you actually have multiple ways
The
of
killer was
solving a
never
puzzle,
caught, though not for a
so
lack
that's
of
cool.
trying.
But also,
Pursued him with
there's a
vengeance for
puzzle
years,
where you have to,
decades even.
every few,
Whether out of frustration
um,
or rage, eventually it became too much for you to bear.
every
Your
couple
mind chose to
minutes,
forget
you will
that
be
tragic
dragged
event,
to
so
the
you could
throne
keep
room
on
of the
going
Fish
with your
Queen
life.
and be forced to play
Can't believe
tic-tac-toe
I've been
against
living a
her.
lie for so
And your
long.
goal is to lose the game of tic-tac-toe
I've erased the
What?
memory of my
against the
lovely wife,
worst AI in the
my
world.
beautiful daughter. Their laughter, their love.
Video games are weird.
It also
I'm sorry.
has a score
Maybe
counter,
uncovering
like,
the
you
journal,
know, a lot
maybe
of adventure
wasn't
games
for
for
the
that era
best.
do, but it's impossible to fill it
No.
up
I'm grateful you helped me remember what happened.
because
And
that's
you
the
Don't
did.
joke.
play this.
Remember. Thank you. The truth surrounding the incident is still a mystery to this day. This can't be the way it ends. I need to know what happened to my family and why. I need closure. Truth is the only thing that will help me go on with my
They made
life.
that game around the same
you
time they
sure?
made Command and
You don't know
Conquer.
the things you might uncover.
Yeah, there's a game.
I'm sure.
Hope I need
Said
to find
not
out the
me.
truth behind this. I owe it to him.
I like the
deserves it.
HD,
Now
you
that he
know,
remembers his
updates
past,
to
he
Command
needs
and Conquer,
closure.
He summoned up all of
but
his courage to face
it's
the
one of those
truth.
things where you
The least
play
we
a
can do is help him learn it
OG
all.
CNC and
I'll
you
do whatever
play
I can
Red
to help.
Alert,
Just
and
say
you're
the
like,
word.
boy, these are.
I don't know if this will help.
Listen, I know
but I
RTS
may
has
found
got a
something
little too
regarding the
complex,
Anything would help
but
at this
these are
point.
dead simple.
I found an old newspaper article about what happened.
Yeah, I
in
just don't
Lost
really
City.
like them.
Unfortunately, it doesn't contain anything we already
I think
don't
Warcraft
know.
2 is a better game.
But that means there's a
Sure.
reporter out there who knows all about
I think
this case.
of-
Warcraft 2,
that-
good.
That's true.
Warcraft 3, still
There is a
good, but
chance they may
not
know
The
something
best.
that can lead us in
not
that direction.
great.
Warcraft 3 is
It's not
See, my formative RTS was Warcraft 3. It wasn't StarCraft, it was Warcraft 3. So, I fucking love Warcraft 3.
It's a great game.
I've been reading my journal.
But that means there's a reporter out there who knows all about this case.
Warcraft 3 custom mods were my introduction to playing games online.
I played a lot of Dota.
I'm sorry, I also tried to play Dota. And the problem, it turns out, was I didn't know how to play Dota. And people would yell at me.
Yeah, it was the worst experience you could have with that game. I'm glad I eventually got out under the shadow of that game. Several years too long.
I wish there was a version of that game that was not fucked and available to play in a modern context.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean OG Dota?
No, I mean Warcraft 3.
Oh, yeah.
Because Reforged broke the original game too.
Didn't they also include a bunch of like the retconning?
Yeah.
There was some sort of retconning.
Why would you do that?
I don't. People.
I remember what it was.
Care about World of Warcraft.
Lore. I remember what it was. I cared about it at the time because there wasn't all the dog shit from. It was just like fun high fantasy.
The whole
you know?
stuff with like the Lich King, like that stuff was actually kind of cool.
Listen, Chris Metzen cared about one thing and one thing only, besides burying sexual harassment claims. And it was heroes who get corrupted and then redeemed.
It's one of the most fucked up things they did in that game, though, is the whole thing about orcs was, like, they weren't actually, like, a race of barbarians. They had been corrupted through demon's blood or whatever. Yeah. But then the retcon was they didn't get corrupted through demon's blood, so orcs are actually just naturally barbaric evil people.
Oh, it's fine. We're fun.
So, so all the... just, God. This entire arc they had over the course of these games. Shot. What if your racism was justified?
We need to justify there being two factions for PvP servers.
Yep.
In WoW. Also, Thrall is now Jesus.
Who?
Thrall. The main orc character in Warcraft
Thrall.
3. Yes, Thrall.
He's Jesus?
Yeah, he sacrificed himself.
Dude, the WoW story has gone some places.
Okay, I stopped after Lich King, so.
You didn't play any Panda?
Nope. I didn't even get to the end of the. Actually, I stopped the moment that that somebody got the first kill on Arthas, and I saw the cinematic, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm good. Like, this was the last storyline. I think that's actually gonna. Or the last story thread that's going to be dealt with.
At least you got past Van Cleef.
I played an hour of World of Warcraft on a free trial.
Broke out in hives.
And then I said, I don't think this is very fun. Why is it making me collect 4 pieces of foreskin?
Oh, foreskin? I mean...
You mentioned you used to cover high-profile stories.
You
I'm
infant.
investigating a story for a friend. Do you know anything about a man
adolescent
named Renolf?
boy?
Renolf? Yes, I think I do. Yes, the poor man's wife and
I'm going to
daughter were
refill my
brutally
water
murdered over
bottle.
some business dispute.
Out of disgust.
Quite a while ago. He lost everyone he loved in the blink of an eye. What a tragedy.
That's some memory you have. This happened centuries ago.
My boss put me in charge of that story. It's one that's hard to forget.
That's lucky for us. Renolf himself asked me to look into the case, so he can know the truth.
That guy's wearing those glasses again.
Yep.
Actually,
Everybody wears those.
Do just that. I can hardly refuse any favors from you now, can I? Except, I wonder if you wouldn't mind doing something for me in exchange.
I don't get over that fucking monocle headpiece thing of hers. It's so bad.
I know, I love it.
Just to hear me out, please. You're helping all kinds of people, aren't you? Would you keep doing that, but when you're done, come tell me their stories.
Just their stories? Are you sure that's all you want from me?
Yes, I want to write something that will inspire people and lift their spirits. What better subject than you?
I've done what you asked.
I already did the side quests.
That's great news for everyone. You'll be an inspiration to my readers. This will make a fantastic article.
I'm not one to preach morality, but doesn't that violate some sort of reporter ethics? Writing stories that you helped create?
The job of a reporter is to follow the truth, and that's what I'm doing. But if we're being completely honest, the real reason I asked for that favor isn't for a story. My real purpose was to observe you and watch you in action.
What do you mean? Why me?
I know who you are now. You help people, and in doing so, you save their souls. That's the duty you've been assigned by you-know-who upstairs. You are the savior, aren't you?
Huh. You knew who I was all along.
Let's just say I had a hunch. But don't worry. Your secret will be safe with me. I won't tell anyone. Oh, by the way, I looked into Renolf's past. I found something that might be helpful. The case was cold for a long time, but it turns out they did find a suspect in the end.
So, was he arrested?
I don't know if this is good news or not, but the person in question appears to have passed away some time ago. Once the authorities saw the death certificate, they stopped the investigation.
You're right. I don't know if that's good or bad news. So who was the person?
Chris, what do you want them
behind
to add to one
Some
D&D?
realized it was part of a criminal organization specialized in petty crime. The order had been on
Honestly,
his trail
I
for
would
a
like
while,
for
but he was a wily little rat.
at
Managed to
least
stay
one
step
new
ahead.
character class
One
from
or two
the
aliases,
current
but,
assortment.
The one on the death certificate was
Sure.
Riddick.
Reddick?
Any ideas?
I think that Psionics needs a complete and total rehaul and at least a class that specializes on it.
Could it be the same man?
What
Is he still alive?
like what gen like archetype would you want them to be? Like tank, damage dealer,
I think it would be some sort of
support class?
tank. Yeah, either you could do it one of two ways: a tanky mage, which I think we don't have in the current setup. Some people would argue that an artificer is basically a tanky mage, but
Then it looks like the case has been solved. We found our man.
or just make a
Records again, in
total
case we
support
missed something.
buffer.
It was Riddick,
Sure.
I'm back.
the man in the warren with no name.
But yeah, if you're gonna ask me what would I like for one D&D to do, I feel like
Let's go to the Warren and see if he'll talk.
I think that they need to completely rehaul Psionics. Make it the focal point for at least a new job class. It doesn't. You don't even need to make it the Mystic, just something that specializes in Psionics because it feels currently like a completely half-baked idea.
This'll make a good story.
And no one really can utilize it other than maybe some NPC enemies that you make for funsies.
My journey continues.
So we got that side quest, that's good. So what we can do is we can do Candace. What time is it now? Yeah, we can make it. I forget, is it the South Station goes to Yusnon? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna try and remain optimistic about 1D&D. I just think that it's just gonna be an incremental thing. And it would be cool if they really shook things up, but they can't, because that's not what the current predominant fan base wants. They want something that's just more of the same and doesn't force them to... And who can blame them? These books are fucking expensive.
You can get them for $30 on Amazon.
Still, I mean,
Thing.
if you followed the development of 5e as it was happening, that's not something to scoff at.
Sure, and it's not just the core rulebook. You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna want the monster manual.
The triple. Yes, the triple.
I am of the controversial opinion that the order, if someone is new, the order should be the Player's Handbook, the Monster Manual, and then the Dungeon Master book. I think that the Monster Manual is actually more important than the DM manual.
Oh, the DM's guide is not
I
necessary.
I would even go so far as to say I would recommend you read Volo's guide before the DM's guide. Or Xanathar's. Actually, Xanathar's has some really interesting subclasses that I feel like are really...
The train will leave soon.
Oh, fuck, it was the other one. God damn it. Oh well. It's not exactly like I'm fucking around. I think Xanathar Guide was like the first book that I really was like, okay, you know what? Maybe they can do interesting things with jobs. And I'm just being a bitter dipshit. This is where Brayden says something.
This is where Brayden says something.
Yes. Did you say bitter dipshit? Yes. Hello. You see, the thing is, we don't have to play D&D.
No, and we don't.
I probably will. By virtue of people know what that is, and I have already invested enough in it. And I think some of the pre-made modules they have done for that rule set are quite good.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think is kind of... I wish all tabletops had like pre-made adventure modules the way that D&D does.
As opposed to the Pathfinder model of we are going to release a new chunk of this adventure path every few months.
Yeah.
And it's like a 1 to 18 or a 1 to 20.
Yeah, that no bueno.
Because some of those Pathfinder adventure paths are pretty cool. I looked into this after Wrath of the Righteous because I wanted to know, like, what did they change for the game, and it turns out quite a bit.
Right. God damn it, how many of these fucking things are there?
But
is this one of those enemies that just never dies?
Skull and Shackles.
You can check the data log.
Which is like the cool, hey man, you wanna be cool pirates?
Nah.
I'm like, sometimes.
Let me check the data log. Okay. I've only ever checked the stats on the bestiary. Okay, man-made, nope. Feral units. Ah, I fucking hate this. Uh-huh. Nope. What the fuck? Why is it taking... Oh, God. Nope. 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 Uh-huh. Nope. Uh-huh. So if it has a check mark, it's dead, right?
Probably.
Yes.
That seems like something they do in a video game.
Humans.
I know it.
Just another obstacle.
God, you're so close.
The path of
What?
chaos.
You're so close to the end of the game.
I know. I'm gonna do the end of
One
the
day
game.
left.
I'm gonna do the end of the game on Sunday. Or should I do it on 2 days?
Do whatever you want, man.
You can do it whenever you want. I know on Saturday we were planning on checking out the multiplayer for Nox.
Oh, fuck, that's right. I gotta...
A great time, I'm sure.
I have to download fucking Open Nox then.
Yeah. But isn't it great that we don't have to deal with like fucking IPX tunneling software on top of Hamachi?
I mean, you're right, but you're also part of me is like, fuck. To play more Nox.
Nox is fine.
It's fine.
As I said, it's more like Gauntlet than Diablo, and it's barely an RPG.
Yeah,
Just another obstacle.
It's also kind of crusty.
Yeah. It's from 1999.
You can't read me.
Or, no, it's from early 2000. I don't... Not to keep hammering on the, hey, the March of Time is inexorable, because I'm sick of that. But, that was 22 years ago. The March of Time is inexorable.
That's fine.
This is where you can purchase.
I'm not bothered by that.
In 2000, I was playing Donkey Kong 64.
A very good, high-quality, well-beloved video game for the Nintendo 64.
There is home video footage of a young me losing his shit getting Donkey Kong 64 for Christmas of 1999.
I can't even make a smart out.
We have it on DVD.
I also. This outfit is awful.
If you ever come to my parents' house, I'll show it to you.
This is an awful bad outfit, and I feel bad.
Miss Mighty.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's good, actually.
Hey, Dr. Who called? He wants his scarf back.
I can take a little credit for it, right? Or a lot of credit.
Which one is that? Tom Baker?
Yes.
I hate that I know this.
Tom Baker was very good in that role.
Okay. Okay, Grandpa.
He was. The episodes were not good, with rare exception, but he was very good.
Ah, yes, my old grandpa. We used to watch Doctor Who around the telly.
Okay,
oh,
listen.
That was back during Margaret Thatcher's, yes, as Prime
Tom
Minister.
Baker Doctor Who is not the oldest television I have watched within the last year and a half.
You watching Gunsmoke?
No, so I'm actually more into the radio plays of Gunsmoke before it became one of those watchies.
Mm-hmm. Amos and Andy?
More of a Dick Van Dyke show.
Okay.
Andy Griffith show kind of guy. Give me your best Barney Fife.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, I can't do a very good Barney Fife.
It's not actually too far off. I just realized that.
Nuts.
Yeah,
well,
Don Knotts and the guy who screams out Sexy Doll are pretty close.
Yeah. Sexy Doll. Oh, Sheriff
Oh,
Andy.
Andy.
Sexy Doll has gotten loose from the pound. Andy Griffith Show, starring Andy Griffith
And
Don
Ronnie
Knotts.
Howard.
And Ronnie Howard.
What even is this stream at this point?
Listen, I watched Nick at Night in the early 2000s.
It was good.
A lot
Remember
of
when we all
Cosby
thought
show.
that? Remember when we all thought that
A lot of
all
Gilligan's
that
Island.
was a good variety show? Remember all
I
that?
watched a lot of Gilligan's
I was a
Island.
child.
And also Hogan's Heroes.
I remember being a
I
kid
watched
and thinking,
plenty
I
of
bet I
more
could be
sitcoms.
like those guys on all that because they're kids. And then they got too old, and then they replaced him with a different batch of kids, and it wasn't as good.
It's okay. Kenan Thompson got his.
Yeah, he.
Whatever
And
happened
now
to
he's
Kel?
on the adult version of all that. Which helps him eat every day.
So the story of Kenan and Kel is actually kind of depressing. Like, both of them applied to be on SNL, and only one of them, Kenan Thompson, made it.
Oh.
Kel,
Oh, man.
after he didn't get the role, basically wasn't comfortable with continuing their friendship, and so basically,
Yeah, that's a hard one. Poor guy.
yeah, it sure sucks, right? Fucking
Yeah. Like, yeah, you've been friends for all these years.
Like a
And I'm like,
combination
oh.
of, man, I'm happy for you, but also, fuck. Like,
Also,
I'm having a hard time swallowing this information.
Yeah.
But they came back and apparently like fucking
reconciled.
They ended up doing a Good Burger skit, and obviously, if you're gonna do a Good Burger skit, you have both of them show up. So.
Hopefully that guy's doing okay.
Yeah, it sure sounds like some of the producers behind Nickelodeon during that era might not have been great people.
We've got the finest.
What? You're saying Amanda Bynes had a fucked up childhood?
Yeah, some of them might have been abused.
Speaking of all
or
that, and
exploited.
Jamie Lynn Spears.
Jamie Lynn, is she related to Britney Spears?
She's Britney Spears' younger sister.
Ah,
She
okay.
was on a later season of All That. And then she got her own show called Zoe 101.
Okay.
And then she got teen pregnant.
Okay.
And now I guess she's one of the people trying to get Britney Spears money. So, really good
Good people are around.
trajectory. Yeah, that sounds like a really good family situation. I'm glad they find. I'm glad Britney Spears is an independent woman. Like toxic, ironically or sincerely, I don't know anymore.
Irony means nothing anymore.
I'll put it this way: I sang it the last time I did karaoke, approximately 3 years ago.
Oh, please tell me there's video evidence of this.
There's video evidence of me singing the Pokemon theme song.
I wanna be.
You know that has more than
Best
one
that ever was.
more than one verse.
Yes, it
Not
does.
surprising.
But yeah, back when I had friends who lived near me.
Jason Page was a fucking true poet.
Yeah, I want to be the So
I wanna be.
I also tried to
the
sing
best,
Cher's.
like no one ever
Believe.
was. To
And it
catch
turns
them
out
is my
that
real
song's
test.
very hard to
To
sing.
train
Yeah.
them is my cause. I will travel
Pokemon.
across the land, searching far and wide. Teach Pokemon to understand the power that's inside Pokemon.
Pokemon.
That's my... Yeah.
I watched quite a bit of it as a kid. I couldn't tell you a fucking thing about it.
I remember
okay.
standing in line to watch the first two movies.
I
Oh,
remember.
I've got you
yes.
beat. I remember going. I don't remember which store it was, but I remember going to a store to get a VHS tape that was basically just a marketing reel for Pokemon the franchise. It's somewhere in my. It's somewhere in this house, actually.
Yeah.
You can have fun and use
I
without the play.
Waiting for this guy to show up because they said wait in line for this fucking dude to buy some glasses to help a guy get pussy.
anyway.
In so many words.
Yeah, I remember seeing Pokemon the first movie in theaters.
I didn't watch that until Ben Pack and Choa did that. Film in 40s. Didn't seem good.
Yo, dude.
No.
Welcome. These are our big South.
Like,
I want-
I mean, if you
yes,
want like
right.
my
You're
actual
a lucky lady. We
hot
sell these
take
things as
on
fast as we can
Pokemon
stock
the
them.
anime,
Thank you for apparating.
it's that
I have to gift glasses.
Pokemon.
What time does he show up? He shows up at 19. Fuck, wait, what?
Pokemon anime isn't very good until Sun and Moon, where they decide to shift it from being a shonen battle series that resets every few years to turning it into a slice of life comedy with like.
How
a
does it
really good-
reset?
Because they, Ash
Every new location, basically, Ash
gives.
trades out his companions for a different assortment of companions.
That's dark.
Yeah, listen, all of his Pokemon are at Professor Oak, and Well,
Living
actually,
happy life
you know,
in a ball.
Remember getting
Brock-
emotional when Butterfree left Ash?
yeah. Well, yeah. I believe Brock actually has a girlfriend now.
Yeah.
She's
least
the rock type gym leader from.
Ah, Brock,
Sun
it's so
and
good
Moon.
to see you. Where's your girlfuend? She's away right now. She'll be back in a few.
She won't
When
give
are you
that.
coming? When are you gonna leave?
But
3 days from now. She
no,
comes back in 4. Sorry.
It's Yeah, no,
They've toned down
turned Pokemon into a
Brock's,
slice of life comedy with
pervy.
really good animation.
Pokemon Origin is also really cool in that they
Yeah.
actually shot for shot recreated the first video game.
Yeah.
If I'm going the wrong.
And yeah, no, there is cool Pokemon animated stuff. I'm just saying that the current run of Pokemon anime, I can't speak for Sword and Shield, but the Sun and Moon anime is
People really
quite
like.
good.
Oh fuck! I don't want this one.
Is Ash Ketchum still a child?
Yeah, but at
Did
some
it-
point, Nintendo took over the dubbing rights, so Ash has a different voice actress now.
Also, isn't that Bart Simpson's voice actress? And doesn't she have like a Scientology thing as well?
No, it's not. It's not Bart Simpson's voice actress.
Who was it?
The original voice actress for Ash was Veronica Taylor, who is still active in the voice acting space.
Why did I think it was Bart Simpson's voice actress? It is very similar.
Nancy Cartwright is, however, about Scientologists. So that's cool. In Fire Emblem Three Houses, she is she is one of the other professors. She's the older woman who is kind of
strict, I'm gonna guess.
No, she wants a man.
Oh, she's the MILF.
Yeah, she's the MILF.
I mean, you don't understand. She only got so many years left.
She's
gotta...
the MILF professor. And has one of the best base speed stats in the game.
Really can't.
Welcome to
But
CDs.
also,
Thanks for all your...
most of the characters you get later in that game aren't worth bringing.
Have you played the Muso game yet, Brayden?
No.
I don't know why
I'm not
I
paying
asked you that.
$60.
I keep asking you this, and your answer's still the same thing.
Give me $60 American dollars, and I'll use it to buy food. Or, I don't know. ZB, I'll go this far. I would rather play Tiny Tina's Wonderlands than that fucking Fire Emblem
That is
Muso.
dark. That is the darkest shit you've ever said to me.
Because no amount of interesting character bits will make me want to play a fucking Muso game for 30 hours. Although maybe I'll play Persona 5 Strikers one day.
And then suddenly be very pro Muso.
It sounds like they actually put mechanics into that game.
No, you don't understand. This is the good one.
Yeah.
People like this one.
People like this one. Whereas the thing with Muso games on the Switch is that they all run at 20 frames per second.
I know you don't like Muso games. Tell me this. Would you rather play more Zelda 2 or the Legend of Zelda Muso?
Which one?
The first
Hyrule
one.
Warriors or Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity?
Rank them both.
Because one of those games runs at close to 60 on Switch.
Okay, the one that runs not 60 on Switch.
Okay, so you want the Breath of the Wild Muso.
Yes.
I would have to think long and hard.
Really?
Age of Calamity sounds like a real bummer.
Okay, how about the one that would... I don't see how 60 frames improves the experience that much in a Muso, to be perfectly honest.
Because it's a game all about hitting large groups of dudes, and if it is constantly chugging, that's not a good experience.
I just don't think they're good experiences in the first place, so how...
No. But if I want things to die in front of me, I want them to die at 60 frames a second. You can put that on my tombstone.
Okay. I will put that on your tombstone.
Also, the difference is, Zelda 2 cost me nothing. And I guarantee you Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition or Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity are still fucking $60. That's my other hang-up.
Some of these late game weapons really are min-maxed.
Oh,
This
God.
What?
Okay, ZP, I want you to guess what video game our friend Joku has just booted up.
I don't have it up, so... Is it a PS2 game?
No.
Is it a 360 game?
Yes.
Does it involve a hedgehog?
No.
Okay, is it a third-person shooter?
No.
It's an RPG?
No.
Is it a puzzle game?
No.
What questionable non-RPG, non-shooter game is there?
It is a shooter.
Oh, it is a shooter? Okay.
It is not a third-person shooter.
Is it Hour of Victory?
No.
That's too bad. Yeah, you're right. You already played that World War II stealth game where you're a heroin addict, right? No, you played that game, right?
No, he played that game.
Okay.
I did not play Velvet Assassin.
Wet?
No.
Brink?
No.
Am I getting colder or hotter?
You're getting, you are in...
I'm
you know
in
what?
the right vicinity, right? So it's a mediocre... Is it a third-person shooter or a first-person?
It is a first-person shooter. For the Xbox 360 and PC platform.
Oh, shit. Does it involve dinosaurs?
No.
God. Is it Postal?
No. Postal never came out on consoles.
Oh, shit. Is this a game we talked about yesterday?
We might have.
Is it Quake 4?
Yes.
Oh. Oh, man. Now that's a game. Boy. Boy, that game really did...
This game... The thing I will say about this game, just watching him play it, is...
It's very ugly.
Is just this early 360 aesthetic of just like it's all flat shaded still.
Well, remember this is when like
put bump mapping and light bloom.
Remember this is the era where id officially lost the war against Unreal.
Yeah.
Remember there was a rivalry between id Tech and Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
And then you know id decided to
and
not
then
make
they
their
didn't
engines...
license out the Doom 3 engine for anything except Quake 4.
Whereas Unreal was like, yeah, we'll sell the license to anybody, just do cool shit with it. And everyone was like, oh, wow, this is way easier to work with than id.
We need to make some wide men who look like beef. Anyway, Quake 4 looks bad.
Yeah, it's a bad game. Ah, man. I mean, there was a chance for Quake Online to actually pull that shit off. But boy, howdy, it sure didn't. But yeah, basically, Quake 4 killed the franchise. Kind of a bummer. It really is.
It's okay. They're going to... They're gonna reboot Quake in the next couple years.
I would say, well, yeah, whatever they did to Doom.
What do you think the Doom 2016 team is doing?
I would
They're
get down
making
for
a
that.
Quake.
The question is,
I would bet money.
The question is what people forget this, but like the Strogg are considered the iconic villains of Quake, but they didn't introduce the Strogg until Quake 2. Quake 1.
Well, here's what I would say. I would say they lean into Quake 1 and try to turn it into a coherent aesthetic.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Do you want the Strogg or do you want the Cthulhu?
I think Quake 1 is way more iconic than, even though it's a complete mess.
No, I think you're
just...
completely ignoring how 2 and 3 and the people remember the Strogg.
No, they don't.
Yes,
people
they do.
remember colored lighting.
People remember the Strogg. The Strogg were such a huge focal point of Quake Wars.
And
we had this talk
Strogg
last
aren't
time.
Part of
people...
Quake 3. No one cares about Quake 2's campaign.
Oh, yet people really like that part where you telefrag to kill the final boss in 1.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. There are parts. I think Quake 1 is uneven.
It's just, wow.
Thank you for coming.
I just think there's nothing interesting about the Strogg. The Strogg are just another
cyborg,
fake Borg,
evil Borg. I mean, you're not wrong with that, but I'm just saying
whereas
that
Quake 1 is like weird. It's a weird mishmash of like castles and portals and knights and demonics. Also, apparently, here's another update to the HBO Max slash and burn. Is apparently they have just pulled every single cartoon that people have liked from the last few years from HBO Max.
Yeah, it sounds like it's
without warning.
No, yeah. Well, and I know we just got
including stuff that had not yet finished airing.
I know that we made fun of Avatar, but apparently they pulled Avatar from Disney Plus without warning as well. Rumor has it, like, you know, James Cameron wants to like put the director's cut instead of the theatrical cut that they put in there. And, you know, James Cameron's like, I want my true vision of Avatar to be the one that you guys
I
are
want
selling.
the blue people.
The blue people, I tell you.
The blue people. Listen. These blue people. They live in harmony with nature, and then there's a robot, and it's got a big knife.
The most, like, as
sword.
Ryan Davis just said everything that needs to be said about,
yeah,
fucking Avatar.
I am morbidly curious.
I want to see, like, I understand that people are now in a state where they really, I feel like there are people who recognize that there are shortcomings to capitalism. But I think that people want more nuance to that than white people, human, bad. Blue people, natives, good. Humans cut
3D
trees
technology
is bad.
relevant.
Like, I feel like people want more than whatever James Cameron attempted.
But here's my counterpoint. If you make your message basic and digestible enough, it can travel internationally.
Yeah. Well, you know that anti-corporate stuff is going to do really well in China.
Yeah. It's fine. As long as they don't criticize the party or promote, you know, non-masculine, you know, non-traditional lifestyles.
This is exciting.
Or say the word Taiwan.
7 p.m. and the nightly festivities are in full swing. The Recreation and Leisure Committee encourages visitors to visit all the attractions.
Remember the brief period, like the very brief period of like China and Hollywood teaming up to make a movie. Look, Matt Damon's in this movie. Also, yes, you have a very optimistic view on what the general moviegoer wants. the average human being, if fed nothing but a diet of Marvel films for the rest of their lives, would be entirely satisfied.
Of course I remember you. How could I forget?
Because people just want the same thing over and over and over again. They just want to rewatch The Office for the rest of their life. So they can pretend it's still 2006.
What do you two want to talk about?
Oh, right. That is to say, what I mean is,
Are you okay?
I want to marry you, but we could just be friends. That would be okay.
What the fuck?
I just said the friends bit. That's when it hit me. Realization like a bolt of lightning. Watching this young couple's first exchange, I remembered something from far in the past.
Yeah.
I once knew a young couple who were in
That's
love.
when it hit me.
Sarah
Realization
and
like a
Snow.
bolt of lightning.
They meant the world to each other, but it took me too long to
I've
see
never
it.
had sex
The
in my
memory brought
life.
a pang of regret.
Yeah, that's the thing.
What
Like,
if I'd been there when they first
Lightning,
met?
despite being a female protagonist, they
seen
sure
the
do
seeds
don't
of their love
graft
first
a
planted,
relationship story
maybe I
arc
could have
to
given
her.
my blessing
No,
from the
she's a
beginning,
strong,
instead
independent
of
woman.
waiting
You
until
don't
it
need
was
no
all
man.
married.
Elkin, you're muted if you're not.
Congratulations. So, Tommaso, are you glad you finally took the plunge?
I was in fact muted.
am I?
Okay.
And it was all thanks to you. You gave me the courage I needed. I mean,
Listen,
you're
because
like
they
our
can't
Cupid.
say that Lightning fucks, because they want her to be a strong, independent protagonist, and that means, of course, cold, icy, and unrelatable.
I got more glasses.
To be fair, she's also been a weird demigod for like the last half millennium, so
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Look at that. 80 HP. Sweet.
Light, just now
the
when
Yeah,
difference
it's
between
almost
life
like
and
you
death.
didn't need to do
did you
this.
say anything? Under your breath, perhaps?
I don't think so. I was just thinking to myself, that's all.
And if you don't beat the first boss on your first,
For some reason,
the
I
final
thought
boss
you
on
were
your first
talking
try,
about
and
the
then
past.
it's turned for you.
Memories of happier times.
The earlier parts of that boss can be hard.
You heard that? I'm sure I didn't speak the words out loud. Maybe we've been together for so long that you're starting to read my mind.
The final part of the boss is the best part. It's a very good time.
Yep. That's what everybody says. Okay. I might need to call it soon. I'm starting to get tired.
Yeah, my voice is starting to give out.
So I'm gonna maybe like travel to Luxurian and park myself where I want to be or need to be.
Yeah, you're right there. You could beat this the next time you play it.
Yeah, I think you're right. So I'm just gonna ferry myself on over to Luxurian. Holy shit, I've been doing this for over 3 hours? Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, did I go in the wrong direction again? I'm a dum-dum. Oh, no, yeah, that was just a bad route to take. But it's too late now. I have shit to do, too. I'm just kidding. I don't want to tell you too much about what we're dealing with at my school site or, my students, but I'll say this much. We just got the first of what we've been told is more than one Afghan refugee from the refugee program.
Oh.
And I'm the director of the newcomer program. It has been a lot.
Oh. I wish you the best of luck in that endeavor.
Yeah.
That's all I'll probably say.
Train will leave.
Well, I'm planning on doing tabletop tomorrow if my voice does not give out.
Weren't you thinking it was like the week after that you start school, you might need to take a break, or maybe whatever?
Maybe. Or I might just be
You might need it.
too down the hole.
You might need it.
Well, we've also talked about whether or not you want me to try a DMing a thing or GMing a thing.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Not to say that I
mean,
don't
if
like.
you wanna prep a one shot.
Yeah, I have a few different ideas.
You are free to do so.
Okay. So go to. Actually, no. This works. We can
I
just park
might
ourselves
take
in here.
a throat lozenge.
Do you have some Fisherman's Friend?
I still have some Fisherman's Friend from when I got a cold earlier this year.
It's good shit, dude.
Yes, it is. Well, it's literally because it's 10 milligrams of menthol.
It's fucking pure menthol, my man.
It is, as opposed to your average Ricola.
Let me guess. You opened up that pack and it's like, wow, this is literally a tablet of pure menthol. You look at that little tablet and it's like, that's not a lozenge.
Yeah, no, Yes, that when I had that bad cold earlier this year.
The problem is, I have to be careful about stuff like that because I know this is probably completely psychosomatic in my head, like total bullshit, but I always feel like the sugar-free versions of cough drops are like weaker.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, you can get this one. Alright, now park our ass on the gate.
Alright, well, if you're going to call it.
All right.
Good talking with y'all.
Yep.
Have a good rest of your night.
I will let you all know when I'm going to actually get my shit together and actually finish this game. But yeah, I'm feeling like a nice long session on Sunday.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Peace.
Thank you. And thank you to all of you that have tuned into this stream. This is fun. You have a very optimistic opinion on what the general movie goer wants. Yeah, probably. That's probably true. Alright. Well, let's exit the game. Yes, please. And boom. Cool. Alright. Peace.